Michael Myers. Up next, we have Andrew Painter. Andrew is the son of Joe and April Painter and is being escorted by them this evening. Andrew has only played football for this season. His fondest football memory is watching Cushy kick field goals. Andrew's future plans are to go to college. Andrew Painter. Our next senior is Caleb Retzer. Caleb is the son of Joe Brown, who is escorting him this evening. Caleb has been playing football for 6 years. His fondest football memory is team meals with the boys. His future plans are to go to college. Caleb Retzer. Up next we have Cherokee Schreckengoss. Cherokee is the son of Lisa and Mark Schreckengoss, who are escorting him this evening. He's been playing football for 12 years. In school, Cherokee is involved with weightlifting. His fondest football memory is lifting with Coach Brumbaugh and Coach Morris, and two-a-days with the boys. Cherokee's future plans are to attend college for computer science. Cherokee Schreckengoss. Our next senior this evening is Noah Shuttleworth. Noah is the son of Mindy and Nathan Shuttleworth, who are escorting him this evening. In school, Noah is involved in weightlifting. His fondest memory, football memory, is Friday Night Light with the boys. Noah's future plans are to go to college. Noah Shuttleworth. Up next we have Tanner Stockdill. Tanner is being escorted this evening by his parents, Robert and Julie Stockdill. It is also his first year of playing football. In school, Tanner is involved with soccer, robotics club, Leo club, and National Honor Society. His fondest football memory is making new friends and playing a new sport. Tanner's future plans are to attend college to pursue a degree in electrical engineering. Tanner Stockdill. Our final football senior this evening is John Yancey. John is being escorted this evening by Mike and Nikki Shoemaker and Bob Yancey. He has played football for 11 years. In school, John is a member of the hockey and volleyball teams. His fondest football memories are the locker room wars and getting yelled at by Coach Brumbaugh. John's future plans are to enlist in the military. Senior John Yancey. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2021 Senior Football Players. Next up, we're going into our senior cheerleaders. Our first senior cheerleader is Abigail Anthony. Abigail is the daughter of Heather and Ed Anthony, who is escorting her this evening. Abigail has been involved in cheerleading for 10 years. In school, Abigail is involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Her fondest cheering memory is getting ready with the girls before games and dominating the Friday nights. Abigail's future plans are to attend college to study the medical field. Senior Abigail Anthony. Up next, we have Riley Edwards. Riley is being escorted this evening by her parents, Beth and Andrew Edwards. Riley has been involved in cheerleading for 12 years. In school, Riley is involved in chorus, county chorus, district chorus, musicals for both AHS and the Armstrong County Theater, and cheer coach for Fort City Youth Football. Her fondest cheer memory is bus rides home from away games. Riley's future plans are to become a nail technician and then attend college to be a math teacher. Riley Edwards. Next we have Grace Goodman. Grace is being escorted this evening by her parents, Tracy and William Goodman. She has been involved in cheerleading for 11 years. In school, Grace is involved with the art club. Her fondest cheer memory is winning the cheer competition her sophomore year and growing up with her best friends. Grace's future plans are to become an X-ray tech. Grace Goodman. Up next, we have Jessa Kinter. Jessa is being escorted this evening by her parents, Jennifer and David Kinter. Jessa has only been involved with cheerleading for 1 year. In school, Jessa is involved in golf, dance, class cabinet, Leo club, and more. Her fondest cheer memory is trying something new her senior year and making many new friends in the process. Jessa's future plans are to attend college majoring in political science with a minor in Spanish. Jessa Kinter. Next we have Riley Coke. Riley is being escorted this evening by her parents Eric and Cassidy Coke and her sister Kendall Coke. She has been involved in cheerleading for 12 years. Riley is also involved with cheering at Cheer Athletics Pittsburgh. Her fondest cheer memory is getting ready with her friends on Friday nights before the games. Her future plans are to go to IUP for early childhood special education to become a kindergarten teacher. Riley Coke. Up next we have Maylee Lindsay. Maylee is being escorted this evening by her parents Kate Wernick and James Lindsay. She has been involved in cheerleading for 8 years. In school, Maylee is involved in the cosmetology shop at Lenape Tech. Her fondest cheer memory is getting to cheer with Bailey every Friday night. Her future plans are to become a livestock veterinarian. Senior Maylee Lindsay. Our final cheerleading scene this evening is Skylar Olenchek. Skylar is being escorted this evening by her parents Edward and Erica Olenchek. She has been involved in cheerleading for 12 years. In school, Skylar is involved in Leo Club, coaching youth cheer for Fort City and select choir. Her fondest cheer memory is getting first place at their cheer competition, braiding Cam's hairs on the bus, and getting ready at each other's houses before games. Skylar's future plans are to go to Clarion University for speech pathology. Skylar Olenchek. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your 2021 senior cheerleaders. Next up, our senior marching band. Our first senior in the band this year is Elizabeth Gilbertson. Elizabeth is being escorted this evening by her mom, Heather Nicely, and grandparents Joyce and Chuck Nicely. She has been involved in band for 9 years. In school, she is involved with taiko. Her fondest band memory was the Disney trip her freshman year. Elizabeth's future plans are to attend college to become a vet tech. Senior Elizabeth Gilbertson. Up next is Madison McGackey. Madison is being escorted this evening by her parents Scott and Beth McGackey, along with her sister Brianna McGackey. She has been a member of the band for 9 years. In school, Madison is involved in taiko. Her fondest band memory is the Disney trip and making great friends in the last 4 years. Future plans are to be determined. Madison McGackey. Our next senior is Casey Peters. Casey is the daughter of Christina Peters, who's escorting her this evening. She has been involved in band for 4 years. Her fondest band memories are the Disney trip freshman year, bus rides to away games, and meeting the seniors from all the other bands. Casey's future plans are to attend college to become a registered nurse. Casey Peters. Up next, we have Deanna Potosnik. Deanna is being escorted this evening by Chris and Crystal Potosnik. She has been in the marching band for 4 years. Deanna's activities include Art Club, Leo Club, and National Honor Society. Her fondest band memory was the game at Mars, where it started to storm so bad, the band went into the gym and formed a drum circle with their hats. Deanna's future plans to attend Edinburgh University for art education. Deanna Potosnik. Our next senior is Ashley Rimmel. Ashley is being escorted this evening by her parents Bill and Lauren Rimmel. She has participated in the band for 8 years. Her fondest band memory is getting excited every Friday night with some of her closest friends. Ashley's future plans are to attend Slippery Rock University. Ashley Rimmel. Up next we have Trent Strauss. Trent is the son of Tracy and Ron Strauss. He has participated for 2 years. In school, Trent is involved in Science Club as president of Envirothon, vice president of Photography Club, Robotics Club, Newspaper Yearbook, Leo Club, Quiz Bowl, band, and National Honor Society. His fondest band memory is hanging out with band friends, especially percussion, after school on Fridays before football games. Trent's future plans are to become a U.S. Marine in the Reserves and to attend Texas A&M University to study pharmacology. Trent Strauss. Our final band senior is Andrew Walker. Andrew is being escorted this evening by his parents, Jack and Tracy Walker. He's been a member of the band for 9 years. In school, Andrew is involved in National Honor Society, jazz band, and taiko. His fondest memories of band was the Disney trip his freshman year and meeting the people he met along the way. Andrew's future plans are to go to college to become a zoological veterinarian. Andrew Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your 2021 Marching Band Seniors. Let's have it one more time for all our seniors, the football players, the cheerleaders, and the marching band for the class of 2022.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project in Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Armstrong High School for this WPIAL match between the Plum Mustangs and the Armstrong Riverhawks. Good evening, and welcome to the Sprangles pregame show. I'm Adam Morganti, and joining me is none other than Ryan Sprankle here on this cold evening, fall evening for high school football. As it's simple, 2 weeks left in the regular season. Armstrong, they win tonight and they're in the playoffs. So Armstrong needs to lose one more win between the next 2 weeks to clinch a playoff spot. Plum, they need to win their next 2 playoff games and hope for some help as well. Now, Ryan, last week also had the opportunity to clinch a playoff spot against Island. They lost that game 41-27. So they went down 28-7 that game. How did you talk about that game?
Even though a lot of it still goes to Kate Olsen, they show a lot of that. So last week, some nights you just come out, whether it be pro, whether it be Pee Wee football, some nights you just come out, and your team has a little extra snap, a little extra they ended up coming back, but unfortunately they died to be the best in the board game to respond enough to but if you're Armstrong, you're feeling good coming off that game because you did play well in the second half. You won the second half, and you finished pretty strong, moving the ball, pretty consistent, and on defense, we're able to lock it down a little bit. So I think you're coming into this game with a lot of confidence, but at the same time, coming off a loss, your preparation, it gets amped up that much more. So I think definitely the preparation and practice this week, I'm sure was at another level than it's been in the last couple of weeks. I'm sure there was a lot of hunger, especially coming out here last night with the senior night, playoff on the line. I look for Armstrong to come out with an early start. I don't look for any kind of delay hitting early. I think they're coming out with a
Yeah, absolutely. And for Armstrong, Keaton Olsen, he passed the ball 32 times. Yeah, they have that spread offense. They only had 12 carries, but that has to also be attributed to them being down 28-7. So yeah, Keaton Olsen last week, 26 of 32 for 370 yards with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Now Plum, on the other side, they got a much-needed victory last week against Gunn, 39-0 to keep the playoff hopes alive.
Plum's always a strong program. This year, they're quite on here for them. Somebody that's 6 in a row. So these guys can obviously play. I think it's a team that gets better as the years went on. So, definitely this is not a team that Armstrong can play any Plum to play tough. You're Plum. The longer you stay in the game, the harder you go to the senior night on the road. Plum
mighty Allegheny River, welcome to the next through bank athletic complex, home of your Riverhawks.
Had 9 carries for 222 yards.
For tonight's scoring showdown between the Plum Mustangs, head coach Matt Morgan, and your Armstrong Riverhawks. Coached by Frank Fabian. Assistant coaches, Michael Tangelo, Chris Hooks, Aaron Brumbaugh, Brandon Colton, Kirk Rare. Equipment manager, Don Blainer, field general, Richard Cookie Ware, special teams coordinator, Luke Canish. Our superintendent, Mr. Chris DeVivo, principals, Mr. Mike Comas, Mr. Cork Morgan, and Mr. Jared Toy. Our athletic directors, Todd Harvey and Jake Canish. Our trainer, Todd Harvey. Cheerleader sponsor, Brandy Harperode and Erica Hogan. And our band director, Mr. Jason Vaneski. The official crew from tonight out of Westmoreland County, referee Andy Rizzardi. Headlinesman Ed Farzetti. Side judge, Jessica Melodias. Umpire, Steve Nash. Field judge, Vaughn Hempfield. And line judge, Joey Touchstone. Captains for the Plum Mustangs, number 9, Logan Brooks. Number 26, Dominic Byer. Number 4, Katie Thompson. And number 1, Eric Moore. Your Armstrong captains, number 11, Noah Shuttleworth. Number 73, Julius Barnes. Number 50, Cherokee Shrekagos, and number 52, Dylan Gagini.
Cherokee Shrekagos and Dylan Gagini, captains for Armstrong.
Well, you know, Shuttleworth, speaking of Shuttleworth, speaking of talent, one receiver, he's been the same. 26 receptions, 377 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Plum won the toss and is elected to defer to the second half. Armstrong will be receiving a football out of the north end zone.
He's a tough guy. He runs those tough routes. Those inside routes. He's not afraid to get dirty. So,
yeah, absolutely. So we are just getting underway here for kickoff in this Class 4A Greater Allegheny.
Welcome to be in all in attendance to practice good sportsmanship. Please remain positive about the teams, coaches, players, and officials. Thank you for your attendance and cooperation.
The opening kickoff is brought to you by Belmont Complex in Catani. Check out their Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey programs for more information about lesson times, program registrations, and more. Find them online at www.belmontcomplex.net or call Gary Montville at 724-548-1067, extension 3050 today.
you know, there's more room. It doesn't seem to be room. So, you know, normal would be a factor in the passing game. And then, like, tonight, it's not going to affect the ball flight. So, it's going to be all 26.
Low kick got taken by Delano for Plum, taken by one of the Armstrong.
Number 12, David Zablocki on the return.
30,
Tackle number 8.
Zablocki on the return
Samuel
for
Pitts.
Armstrong.
And number 26, Dominic Byer. Right, we have 50-50 going around up and down the grandstands right now. Randy and Earl are going up and down the grandstands. Please look and grab your 50-50 tickets. Thank you. Ball is coming at the 32-yard line of Armstrong. Riverhawk football, 1st and 10. Kate Olson in the center for the Riverhawks.
WPIAL in passing touchdowns with 23 touchdowns and he has 6 interceptions on the season. Armstrong good spread offense to start the day. Patton, the running back. Olson now keeps it himself, gets up past the 35 and brought down about the 37-yard
Kate
line.
Olson, the ball carrier.
To start the game, we've seen the biggest difference in the Armstrong offense this year. Last year, that running very small offense. Olson really did not run the ball very well.
Tackled by number 52, Caden Thompson.
I expect to see a lot of that from this game. Trying to bring down a 205-pound quarterback is not a fun task.
Now Olsen, he fakes the pass. Now he throws complete to Isaiah Brown. And that looks like he does get just enough for that first down for Armstrong.
Number 9, Logan Brooks.
Get the feeling early here. Armstrong's just kind of trying to set them up, trying to make those safeties and corners just creep up, trying to make them.
It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Riverhawks.
Came out with an RPO. That time they went play action, just settled for what the defense gave them. Stop Brown for a first down, and it'll be interesting to see. Right now they're in those two high safety look right now. They're playing man under. It'll be interesting to see as this goes on. If they run a couple more RPOs, the safety sneak up with them, getting an opportunity.
It's actually 3rd and 1 for Olsen. A little shovel option to Alex Patton, and it's going to be right. It's going to be very close, depending on where they spot it.
I thought he got it, and that was a great second effort by the
Carried by number 7, Alex Patton. Tackled by number 4, Jake Thompson. That's going to be good for a Riverhawk. First down.
That now Olsen, he will keep it, and he will run towards the Armstrong sideline up past midfield. He'll be down a little bit.
He's also on the carry ran out of bounds. There is a flag on the play at the 40-yard line.
There is a flag.
Well, he must be feeling good tonight because that was definitely another RPO, and that was definitely should have been given to the general up the middle. There was a nice lane. So I'm feeling good because he pulled it out. He ran around. Unfortunately, had a holding penalty there, but he made a nice run on that play. He must be feeling good.
Yeah, that is holding up Armstrong. 52. It will bring him back.
A little hurry up here.
1st and 20 for the Riverhawks. Olsen now looks to throw. He throws deep down the middle to Isaiah Brown.
Olsen's pass is incomplete, intended for Isaiah Brown. Brings up 2nd down.
Brown, the defender there, definitely pass interference. Going back, we're right. That time there was one high safety. It wasn't 2 high safeties. It was right there at the line of scrimmage. And I guarantee you, he audibled into a deep play to Brown because he knew he had single coverage on the outside. But I know how. And he took advantage of it. Good ball, good route. Call there, but
Nicholas Lamia was in on coverage, bringing up a 2nd down and 23. Now Olsen throws a little quick pass to Isaiah Brown as he gets up past the
Olsen's pass complete to Isaiah Brown.
take place there a little bit.
Tripped up at the 36-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Riverhawks.
They normally able to make. Normally he's able to stop that, make a nice cut bounce to the outside. But a night like this, it's going to have to be shorter, choppier steps, and not as much splash, but it's going to take what they did.
Bring up a 3rd down and 17 with 9:15 remaining here in the opening quarter as Armstrong goes trips from the near side of the field. Olsen claps his hands, looks to throw. Big rush coming, he steps up. Now he throws it, intercepted at the 49-yard line.
Olsen's pass is intercepted by number 8, Samo Pitts. Will be Mustangs football. Ball spun at the 49-yard line out Armstrong. 1st down and 10. Plum. Under center for the Plum Mustangs, number 6, Sean Franzi.
Necessarily fall in that category, but at the same time, he'd like to have that one back.
Samuel Pitts made the interception for Plum. Now Sean Franzi, no one in the backfield for him. There's a quick screen pass to Logan Brooks, and he has some room. He makes me a miss up past the 40s, a 1st down, and much more inside the 35-yard line. So great first down play there by Plum.
Tackle by number 11, Noah Shuttleworth. That's going to be good for a Plum 1st down.
great play design.
Ball spot at the 36-yard line of Armstrong. First down and 10, Mustangs.
Bubble screen, late screen. They did a great job of timing it up perfectly, letting the block set up. Time perfectly with the pass, and then Brooks made a great play after that.
Shuttleworth on the tackle for Armstrong. Another short pass by Franz. It goes way too high.
Franz's pass intended for Samuel Pitts is completed in second down and 10.
The same exact play as the play before. This time, though, they set it up opposite. The last play was set up sealed for an inside zone. This was the opposite. They set up the block in for him to run wide, and it was wide open. It could have been a touchdown. He just took the shot. He missed that. He would like that.
Second and 10 now from the 36-yard line of Armstrong. Franz in the gun. Now he gives into Eric Moore. He kind of lost about 5 yards. All the way back to the 41-yard line.
That was one of those plays where you would almost...
Carried by Eric Moore, tackled by number 52, Dylan Eugene. Loss on the play. It'll be third down and long.
Third down and 15 from the Armstrong 41. Franzi in the gun. 3 receivers to the near side of the field for Plum. Franzi draws back to throw. Goes over the middle. That's too high for the intended receiver at about the 21-yard line. So good job by Armstrong. Only giving one first down. Caden Thompson, the intended receiver on the play.
Broken up by Thomas Segola and Isaiah Brown for the Riverhawks.
Getting pressure, just enough pressure on the quarterback, just enough
In the
bodies
punt,
in his eye line.
the Plum showing Franzi back deep.
Sometimes when such a young quarterback is under pressure,
Back deep for the Riverhawks, number 2, Thomas Segola, and number 6, Jackson Chrisman.
he's fortunate throwing it in the middle like that it wasn't intercepted, but it was there. He had it ready, he made a good read, but just the ball sailed a little bit, and Plum didn't take advantage of it. They had a couple opportunities.
Punt is down by Caden Thompson.
The ball was just a little high, and you're good.
At the 22-yard line of Armstrong.
Can't give up too many of these opportunities, so I think
The Armstrong Riverhawk Football Boosters coaches players would like to thank the following sponsors: the platinum sponsors, Quail, Buick, Targeted Construction, Dairy Queen, Sprangles Neighborhood Markets, Godhart's Construction, Meredith Inn, the 700 Shop, Elite Party Tents, Olson Chiropractic, 84 Lumber, Armstrong Beer, Armstrong Dental, and Shellhammer Atlas Insurance Agency.
Samoa Pitts. Olson back out of quarterback for the Riverhawks. 7:32 left here, opening quarter, no score. Olson now back to throw. Big rush, he's going to be hit, and he's able to get the throw off, unfortunately.
Olson's pass completed, pass number 11, no Shuttleworth, second down and 10.
And you know, that's what you got to do against a quarterback like Olson. It's well trained, seasoned at this point, over 15 starts. You have to do things that he's not expecting to see. But that time it was kind of delayed, and once he decided to come, he came strong. He didn't read that blitz he didn't read that blitz pre-snap. So, you know, it kind of caught him by surprise, and he wasn't able to react to it quickly. So it was a good job of pulling this thing out.
Nick Odom on pressure of Olson, making second down and 10 from the 22. As now Olson calls a timeout for Armstrong, their first timeout of the game. They have 2 more remaining.
Armstrong is the first timeout.
In the half.
7:26 mark of quarter number 1. Reminder, the Riverhawk Football Boosters meetings will be held on the second Monday of the month at Armstrong Junior High School cafeteria at 7:30. Don't forget to buy some 50-50 tickets. Raymond and Earl are working their ways around here. Also program What's in the Bag purse drawings and Riverhawk Spearwear sold under the Tanaka main gate. Be sure to check out the Riverhawk Football Boosters website or Facebook page for upcoming events. www.riverhawkfootballboosters.com. groceries.com is that website. Don't forget to grab something in our concession stand and get a bite to eat. Special thanks to Stanley's Bar and Grill for supplying hot sausages right down there under the grandstand across from the concession stand. We would like to thank Chuck Atkinson, Max, and Jimmy for their job in cooking up, grilling up, I should say, some wonderful, tasty Stanley's hot sausage. So stop by and grab one. Football parents, please make sure you know when your duties are to work. Thank you for your help. And don't forget to stick around after the game and direct your attention to the 50-yard line where we draw the final drawing of the blue-collar tickets worth $10,000.
Second and 10 for Armstrong, ball at the 22-yard line. Olsen now looks to third out to be QB draw, makes him in. This gets up past the 30, stiff arms man up to about the 35, and that's plenty for the first down.
Dave Olsen, the ball carrier, tackling number 4, Peyton Thompson.
Definitely, there were 2 high safeties.
That's going to be good for a Riverhawk first down.
Thompson made the tackle for Plum, which moves the ball up to the 35-yard line of Armstrong. Olsen now gives it to Pat. He has a hole up the middle. He's up past midfield, and that's plenty for the first down. Gets brought down to
7, Alex Patton on that carry.
yard line of Plum. He gained about 17.
Tackle number 21, Nicholas Lemia, and number 24.
Armstrong going fast as Olsen keeps it, and he has another first down. Up inside the 35.
Dave Olsen, the ball carrier.
3 first downs, 3 and second
Nelson.
for Armstrong.
And that's going to be good for a Riverhawk first down.
Get him in the groove of the game, get him feeling comfortable, and then the passing game comes out.
Ball at the 33-yard line. Olsen out for option 2. Pat, he has room up the middle, out past the 20, and he gets brought down inside the 10-yard line. Armstrong
Alex Patton, the ball carrier. Tackle number 26, Dominic Meyer, but it's going to be good for a
Armstrong
Riverhawk
has just
first down.
the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Dominic Meyer with the tackle as Armstrong goes no huddle once again. Olsen will pitch it to Patton once again, and he has a hole as he barrels his way into the Riverhawks touchdown.
Alex Patton with a 7-yard touchdown run.
5:44 remaining here in the first quarter.
That was definitely a statement drive right there. Armstrong called that timeout, and you can tell they
After the rusher snap and Olsen hold, Hunter point after is good with 5:44 to go in the first quarter. Right next to the Bank Athletic Complex. The score, your Armstrong Riverhawks 7, Plum Mustangs nothing.
5:44 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Yeah. get a nice little possession. But really, you're looking for a touchdown here. You're looking to make sure Armstrong knows that they're in the game.
Yeah, Patton with the rushing touchdown on that last drive. His 6th touchdown of the season. Now on to kick is Tanner
Kicking
Stockdale.
off for the Riverhawks, number 29, Tanner Stockdale. Back deep for the Mustangs, number 1, Eric Moore, and number 9, Logan Brooks.
Waiting for the kick from Stockdale. High kick up the middle. Taken, looks like by Logan Brooks. Makes a juke move. He slithers his way past the 30. Brought down
Logan Brooks on the return.
at the 34-yard line, so good field
Tackled by William Adams.
for Plum to start this drive. Adams made the tackle for Armstrong.
And there's Brooks again.
All start at the
Brooks,
34-yard line. First down and 10 for Mustangs.
Rushes on the season, and he can do it all, and he can make plays. So that time you saw he's able to find a weak piece, and he's able to use his power and speed to get a good starting position.
Sean Franzi flew him off and done. They had good field position last time in Armstrong territory. Wasn't there to take advantage. Moore gets the carry, comes towards the near sideline, but he's not going to get much yardage on that play.
More on the carry.
Segola out of bounds. There will be no gain on the play. Second down and 10.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10.
Armstrong did a great job that time. Front four did a good job of tying up the blockers, not giving any cutback runs, and a run back and forth. Right out there. When you mentioned Segola, I saw Zablocki out there first pulling the sideline, didn't give him any room to cut back. It's the way you draw it up, it's the way you practice that kind of sweet defense.
Second and 10 ball, 34-yard line for Plum. Franzi in the gun. They go 4 wide, 3 to the far side field. Now pump and give to Moore. He has a big hole. He's first down, much more miss. Going down that sideline. He has daylight and he waltzes into the end zone. What a way to
66-yard rushing touchdown.
66-yard rushing touchdown. Plum's next one away from tying this game with 5:22 remaining in the opening quarter. Eric Moore's 8th touchdown of the season.
And right after we praised Armstrong for the contained defense on that side, total opposite that time. There was no containment at all. Everybody got sucked in, put his foot in the ground, bounced it outside. There was nobody home. It was untouched board on the sideline. And against a team with goals like that, we have a
Off of the bad snap. State Farm Agency, Rosebud Mining Company, Next Tier Bank, Benko Orthodontics, Namsco Plastics Industries, Fox's Pizza Den for Tanning, Mills Chiropractic Center, Walker Motor Company. Shop, Paul City's Villa, Fox's Pizza.
Was that the issue there? Test. Hey, sorry folks, hopefully you can hear our sound now. Hopefully this problem's alleviated. I'm going to double check on it, but thanks for hanging in there with us.
And if you didn't hear me for the first part, maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not. Just kidding.
All right, we're back here on the High Top Sports Network. That was a botched extra point there, so Armstrong still in the lead 7-6 with 5:14 remaining. Joe Rhodes there just hopefully fix our problem that we had. But once again, I'm Adam Morganti, Ryan Sprankle on the call here from Armstrong High School.
And that was a killer there for Plum. You know, you just had a big splash play. You had exactly what you needed to get back into this game. And then, you botched the snap on the extra point. So now you're still down a point. And you can see that the weather's starting to act up a little bit more. The rain's starting to come down a little harder here at Armstrong Field. So you wonder if that was a factor in that snap.
Olsen in the gun.
Yeah, look at the spread.
Gives it to Patton once again, who had that rushing touchdown last drive. He takes on a few Plum defenders, and he's brought down at about the 31-yard line.
Yeah.
And last drive that Armstrong had, they pretty much just kept it on the ground the whole time.
Yeah, and you'll see that a lot coming off a drive where you just got physically dominated. Definitely, they came out, you could tell they came out with a plan of, hey, you know what, we're not going to get gouged like that anymore, so here you go on first down. They still got 4 yards, but much stiffer competition they were up against on that one.
2nd down and 5 now from the 31-yard line. Olsen, he will keep it this time as he's going to be short of the first down by a few yards. Nick Odom made the tackle.
And Olsen that time made a great play there, made a great read. But Plum just came up and made a nice tackle. It was definitely a read. He read 2 deep safeties. They were in a pass defense, so he went RPO. And Plum just did a nice job of coming up and playing downhill football and making a stop short. But a manageable 3rd down here for Armstrong.
3rd down and 2 now for the Riverhawks with 3:58 remaining in the opening quarter. Olsen has not attempted pass in these last 2 drives so far. Will he air it out this time? As he gives it to Patton, Patton goes up the middle as he dives forward
the ball carrier
for that Armstrong first down at the 38-yard line.
But it's going to be good for
Slaughter made the tackle
first
for
down.
Plum, but not before an Armstrong first down.
A gritty run by the general to get the first down, but if you're a young quarterback at home, watch Olsen on his fakes after the handoffs, executing and following through with the fakes as if he's throwing the ball. All those little things, if it holds one linebacker, it makes a huge difference. So if you're watching home, you want to play quarterback, that's what you want to do. Every play, you don't take any plays off. That's what I like about Olsen.
Olsen finally airs it out for the first time in a long time as incomplete too low, intended for Isaiah Brown, who one of the leading receivers in the WPIAL. He is 4th in yards and 5th in catches with 34 receptions for 558 yards and 7 touchdowns on the year, but incomplete now with 3:21 left here in the first quarter. Armstrong up by 1. Olsen now, he keeps it himself. He has plenty of room, makes a man miss, comes up the middle of the field, and he's into Plum territory for a first down, brought down about the 45-yard line. Byer with the tackle for Plum, but not before another Armstrong first down.
Well, again, Fabian dialed up the right play at the right time. Olsen made a great read. They're in this press defense. They're playing press man on the outside, and that's great for trying to contend with receivers, but at the same time, if those receivers run in routes and your quarterback's running out, the defense can't get eyes on the play.
QB draw for Olsen as he took multiple Plum defenders to bring him down. Logan Brooks in on the tackle and Darian Slaughter. Good game, though, for Armstrong. Gain of 7, make it 2nd and 3.
And you're going to see that as long as they're showing that man on the outside and 2 deep safeties in the middle of the field, Armstrong is going to be pretty content just to run the ball, force them out of it. As soon as they go to 1 high safety, you're going to see a downhill play, downfield pass play.
Gives now to Patton, and he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Dominic Byer in on the tackle again. Olsen so far 7 carries for 62 yards in this game. Gain of 2, though, for Patton on that play will be 3rd down and 1.
And, you know, that was a nice cut by Patton. He made a nice cut, got into the hole, made a nice cut. Byer just did a great job of coming up and filling that lane right away, making a good, determined tackle. Patton's not an easy guy to bring down, so that was a nice tackle to stop him short of the line to gain there.
She gave him no gain. 3rd and 2 at the Plum 37-yard line. Play clock down to 7. Olsen claps his hands We have a whistle. We have another timeout taken by Frank Fabian and Armstrong. They're second. They have one more remaining in half. Frank Fabian, he's in his 7th season with Armstrong. He has a 36-31 record coming into tonight, as he's been the head coach ever since Armstrong's first season in 2015. And with the win tonight, Armstrong will have their 4th playoff appearance in school history. And before Armstrong, Frank Fabian, he was the head coach at Katanning, as Katanning and Fort City merged, and the first year of Armstrong was the 2015-2016 school year. But yeah, first time seeing Armstrong all year, Ryan, and I'm very surprised that they have kept it on the ground pretty much this whole game.
Well, they're taking what the defense gives them. The defense is coming out. They've decided to play pretty tight press coverage, old school press coverage on the outside and inside receivers with 2 high safeties over the top and protecting half the field each. And that really doesn't give you a lot of lanes to throw. But it does give you a lot of lanes to run, especially bouncing to the outside, running inside routes with the receivers, pulling those defenders inside and then bouncing the runs outside. And that's what you've seen so far, a couple gouges up the middle as well, catching them in some blitz packages. But here we are on 3rd and 2, still have 2 high safeties. So the run's there. The run's going to be there all night long. If they're patient, they'll be able to grind us out.
3rd and 2 for the Riverhawks. Now Olsen with the option pitch to Patton as he trucks a man inside the 30 with first out inside the 20, tries a stiff arm move, and he will be brought down inside the 5. What a run by Alex Patton will set up 1st and goal.
Well, again, the play call is great. Whenever you have man coverage all over the place, tight man coverage, the eyes of the defensive backs are on the receiver. So if you draw those defensive backs towards the middle of the field, the outside's wide open. And then if you pinch, like they did that time with the option, and then pitch out, you have 5 yards before you have to even deal with anybody.
1st and goal as Caden Olsen's able to take it into the end zone on the option, give Armstrong a 13-6 lead with 1:19 left here in the first quarter. As Armstrong, they just entered the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Before that play, like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser is there, but Armstrong keeps it on the ground once again. They had that big run, 34-yard run by Patton, as Olsen's able to punch it in from 3 yards for Armstrong to give them a 13-6 lead.
And Olsen, he's a great quarterback, all-state quarterback, makes great decisions with the ball, throwing the football, but I don't think he gets enough credit for the decisions he makes running the football. In this game, we've seen 4 or 5 well-executed, perfectly timed option pitches. We've seen some very nice RPO decisions. That last touchdown was a great decision, keeping it, getting it in. He's making great decisions both through the air and on the ground, and it gives Armstrong a huge advantage. If you got a guy that can challenge the defense like he can downfield with a passing game, but then come back with a running game and make the same kind of decisions, then you got a bruising back like Patton and an offensive line that has gained more confidence as the season goes on. It is a very tough offense to try to contend with.
Hunter Reed made the extra point for Armstrong, give him a 14-6 lead.
First quarter, blue collar, quarterly draw.
With a minute 19 left here in the fourth quarter. Or not fourth quarter, first quarter. As if you didn't hear me earlier, or since you didn't hear me, the kickoff sponsor is Belmont Complex, the opening kickoff sponsor. So we'll get that in there right now. In West Katanning, the home of Armstrong hockey, the Belmont Ice Complex. Now here's the kick by Stockdale. High kick taken by Brooks. He has a big haul up past the 50. Is one man to beat, and that is the kicker. But he's able to go into the end zone for the Plum Mustangs touchdown. Logan Brooks on 85-yard kickoff return.
And again, the containment was non-existent on the outside. When you have weapons like Plum has, You cannot take a play off. You have to stay disciplined sideline to sideline. You have to maintain your lanes. And at all costs, that outside man, if he does nothing else, he has to turn the play in. So, you know, that's the second time we've seen no outside discipline. I think I might have jinxed them, you know, broadcasting jinx, because there was an outside play earlier in the game. They did a great job of containing, stringing it out the way to the sideline, using the sideline as the 12th defender, and then in the last two plays, it's been non-existent. So I'll put some of that on me.
Plum now will go for two. Franzi rolls out and throws it towards the back of the end zone. Incomplete, but looks like we might get a roughing the passer call against Armstrong. Late flag in on the play.
Franzi got bailed out there. He blindly just turned back and threw it against the grain, looking for a spot for his receiver. The receiver was not there. Armstrong giving them a little bit of a gift there. Late penalty. In this modern day, 20 years ago, that would have been considered a great hit. But right now, that's not considered a great hit. That's a 15-yard penalty. You got to hold up when you're approaching the quarterback.
Yes.
That's a big mistake. Big mistake by Armstrong.
So Boleno and the Plum special teams had a little bit of trouble with the handling the snaps. So instead of it being 14-13, it's 14-12, and not Armstrong. Plum will go for two once again. As now the ball's at the 1 yard line. Franzi goes under center. As now Plum is able to get that 2-point conversion to Eric Moore to tie this game up at 14. With 107 remaining here in the first quarter.
And you can't say it enough. Penalties in big games, in all games, penalties are a huge factor. Right there, you had them stopped, and you have them, you're up by 2, even though you both scored twice, you're up by 2. But because of the late hit, now you give them a chance. They're able to convert. And I can't help but notice, for the viewers out there, NFL fans, even though he's a Cleveland Brown, not so popular in this area, but Baker Mayfield wears number 6. He's a shorter quarterback, fairly mobile quarterback, and can force the ball downfield. And Franzi is a high school version of Baker Mayfield. He wears number 6. He's not a very tall guy, but you know, he is able to get the ball downfield. Armstrong's doing a good job though of getting bodies in his eyesight, making him uncomfortable here early. But you know, because of the breakdown, both times on defense and on special teams, the breakdown on sideline discipline, Plum's in this game, and really they shouldn't be in this game. So if you're Plum, you know, you're happy. You've weathered the storm. You're in this game. It's tied. You've been outplayed, but it's tied. If you're Armstrong right now, you're thinking, man, you know, we're winning this game physically, but somehow it's tied. So just a weird game here to start.
Yeah, as Plum looked like they tried a little long version of an onside kick and squib kick, but it's recovered by Armstrong Stazik Zablocki at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and it seemed to be a little hesitation on everybody there. Like, you know, I don't know if I should get the ball. I don't know if he should get the ball. That's one of those plays where you just need somebody to be decisive and just fall on it, take your field position, and try to get the offense on the field. And the weather continues to pick up a little bit more. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects the game.
Olsen, who had that rushing touchdown last time for Armstrong, gives it off to Patton. As he has a hole, as he steps inside towards the middle of the field, and he has enough for the first down at the 34-yard line. Thomas made the tackle for Plum.
And that was a great cut by Patton. That time Plum they only had one safety or cover one, came up, had a guy shadowing Patton, had somebody to make the play, but you know, Patton was able to make the cut and get back.
Patton now with another big hole as he stumbles. Looks like about a little short of the first down marker. Darian Nelson, the freshman, on the tackle for Armstrong. As looks like it'll be a timeout or not a timeout, a first down for the Riverhawks.
And Plum has definitely made an adjustment on defense. they've decided they're not going to get beat physically up front. They've brought an extra person up into the box. They're still playing man on the outside, still have the single high safety 15 yards off, but they've definitely brought another guy up into the box to try to stop this Armstrong rush attack.
Patton with another good chunk on first down, gets tackled probably right at midfield as we are winding down towards the end of the first quarter. As Armstrong, it will be 2nd and 4 when we come back here from Armstrong High School as we are tied at 14 as you are watching WPIAL football on the High Top Sports Network. We'll take a break.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
We're back here at Armstrong High School as we are tied up here at 14. Armstrong will take over 2nd down.
The winning 50-50
second down and 5 from midfield.
It is also going to be
for the Riverhawks.
Digital board worth $575.
As rushing touchdowns by Olsen and Patton in this game, and for Plum, Eric Moore had a rushing touchdown of 64 yards, and Logan Brooks had an 85-yard kick return for a touchdown.
Yeah, and for all the talk about Armstrong's high-powered offense and all-state quarterback, you know, they came out in that first quarter, they have a 100-yard rusher, and we're only in the start of the second quarter. Patton has well over 100 yards already, and Olsen's contributed on the ground game too. But you can see Plum making the adjustment. They're making the adjustment. They're not going to continue to get gouged. They have one safety in the middle of the field. They don't have that too high safety look. They brought more guys up into the box. They're taking chances. So it's going to be interesting to see. Pretty soon you're going to see a shot downfield because it's there. They got man coverage all over the world on defense, and one safety in the middle of the field. This play they're not even showing any safeties. They're showing a zero coverage, so it's open downfield for Olsen to take a chance here. I look for him to take a shot downfield here. One of these next plays if they continue to show that look on defense.
That was a loss of 1 on the play. Jack Majors on the tackle for Plum, bring them a 3rd down and 6 from the 49-yard line. Armstrong now back on their own side of the field. So after that carry by Patton, he's already at 125 rushing yards for Armstrong. So Patton and Olsen are leading the way on the ground, as Olsen hasn't really aired the ball out at all in this game, as he came in 3rd in the WPIAL in passing yards, and he led the WPIAL in passing touchdowns with 23. He did throw an interception to Samoa Pitts on the first drive of the game for Armstrong, but yeah, they figured if you turn the ball over, Armstrong kept it on the ground, and it has worked so far for them.
Well, in the NFL, the modern strategy, and even in college football, against great quarterbacks and great offenses, is you try to eliminate the big splash plays. You try to make them work their way down the field with 10 to 15 play drives, hoping that at some point they get a fumble, some kind of a turnover, a penalty that stalls the drive, and you're able to get the ball back. It's a delayed tactic to force them to work their way down the field instead of giving up big splash plays. But when another team starts moving the ball like this, you have no choice but to bring people up and challenge them a little more at the line of scrimmage, and that opens up downfield opportunities later on.
Olsen keeps it, and he has enough for the first down, brought down at about the 42-yard line. Darren Nelson made the tackle for Plum, but again on the option play, Olsen, good read, as there was no one on that side of the field, as he just kept it to himself as Armstrong goes quick here. Now in Plum territory at the 38-yard line.
And another good read on the RPO by Olsen. Just taking what the defense gives them, being patient, and moving the chains.
Or at the 42-yard line, excuse me.
He runs 74 yards.
8 runs, 74 yards for Caden Olson, the quarterback. And now another option play, and he keeps it up the middle. We do have a flag down on the play as he's able to get first down, but it is in the offensive backfield, so you would think that this run will come back.
Yeah, it's definitely, there was a hold on the inside there, pretty noticeable hold that gave Olson a nice lane there. And once again, that's the strategy. If you're Plum, you're trying to force them to work their way down the field, earn every play, go 10 to 15 plays without any kind of a problem. So here we have a penalty. Now you're behind the chains, so to speak, and if you're Armstrong, this makes it a lot harder for you to continue on with the drive. If you're Plum, this is exactly what you want.
Yeah, so it brings the ball back to the Armstrong 48-yard line. Lost to 10 yards on that penalty, so it'll be a first down and 20. With 10:32 remaining, we have a tie game here at Armstrong High School. Armstrong, they clinch a playoff berth with a win. Olson now a short pass to Isaiah Brown as he's able to work his way to about the 49-yard line as he'll only pick up 1 yard.
In football games, there are a lot of times it's like a chess match. And that time, on that particular move, Plum definitely won that move. When you're behind the chains like that, a lot of times you come out with a bubble screen or something quick that you can get the ball to a receiver quickly and just take what the defense gives you, assuming they're going to be playing off a little bit with it being so far for the first down. But that time, Plum challenged the receivers, came up and made the play. So the chess match, that move was definitely in Plum's favor there.
Majors made the tackle, second down and 19. Olson now a quick screen pass.
Zablocki.
Yeah, to Zablocki. He's able to get a good chunk there to about the 46-yard line. And Pitts made the tackle from the secondary position for Plum, but will bring up a third down and 14, gain of 5 yards on the play.
Zablocki, who's normally primarily a defensive player, he has 7 receptions coming into this game, 3 touchdowns, so he can be a weapon. That middle screen is a dangerous play, though. I don't think, I personally, if I'm calling plays, I don't want to live and die by the middle screen, but they've been able to be effective with it this year.
Olson throws over the middle, incomplete, off the fingertips of Isaiah Brown, maybe a little bit high. Lucky it wasn't intercepted on the deflection, but you'd think Isaiah Brown would want to come up with that.
Oh, that's a pass. That's a catch that Isaiah Brown's going to tell you he expects to make 11 times out of 10. He's frustrated. Just, you know, the gloves just came off. He threw them to the side. Sometimes the gloves, when they get wet in these kind of conditions, they can be your enemy, not your friend. That was a nice route by Brown. Found the spot in the defense, the open spot in the zone, in the middle of the zone, and Olson timed it up perfectly, put it pretty much right on him. And that was another missed opportunity for Armstrong.
Chrisman with a good punt for Armstrong, as it'll be down at the 1 yard line. Logan Brooks made the was back deep for Plum, who had a kickoff return, but he avoided it there.
And that was a picture perfect. I mean, when you're a coach and you're telling a guy how to pin a defense deep, that's exactly what you want. He nice high punt, plenty of spin on it, ball landed and just rolled nice and softly to the 1 yard line. I mean, I don't even know if the guy actually had to down it. It almost just stopped on its own.
Exactly. Yeah. 8:45 remaining now in the second quarter. We are tied as last time. Well, Plum didn't go out on offense last time because Logan Brooks had a kickoff return of 85 yards for a touchdown. Now they have to go all the way pretty much back to Plum if they want to score. They're 99 yards away from the end zone. Franzi in his own end zone with Moore to his right. Franzi looks to throw. He takes a deep shot. Has a man open and is incomplete. Samo Pitts.
And Armstrong got away with one there. That was a beautiful read, beautiful job from the end zone, showing faith in your line, showing faith in your quarterback. Franzi put a nice ball on the outside shoulder there. And again, you wonder if the conditions are affecting these receivers because that ball was pretty much right on the money. Probably, again, the receiver, I would expect that receiver would expect to make that catch and still be running into the end zone as we speak. So when you play that kind of defense where you have no safeties in the middle of the field, that's what's there. That's what you're trained to attack on the offensive end.
Francie now a quick pass to Moore over his head is risky call to call a screen in your own end zone, but it was over Moore, bring up a 3rd down and 10. And yeah, on that pass to Pitts, looked like he was running towards the field, but the ball was thrown on the back shoulder towards the Plum sideline, so Pitts wasn't able to adjust to it, but 3rd down and 10 at the 1-yard line for Plum.
And again, on the shorter routes, Francie seems to be overshooting, just throwing a little high. Sometimes that can be nerves, sometimes that can be conditions, but a lot of times that's pressure. And I think Armstrong, even though they're not getting the sacks, I think they're getting enough bodies in front of his eyes to affect some of these shorter throws.
Francie now throws it again to Moore, but he's going to be tackled, or actually he's going to be called incomplete.
And boy, he's lucky he dropped that pass. That time Francie was under a lot of pressure early, got the ball out on time, but Armstrong had it eaten up. And if he catches that pass, it's definitely a safety. I don't know if he meant to drop it or not, but that was a fortunate unfortunate incompletion for Plum. And great defensive pressure by Armstrong. They just made a decision there. Hey, we're going to give up the deep pass. We're gonna make you challenge us outside, but we're gonna put some pressure on you. And they did a nice job there of keeping them boxed in.
Yeah, heads up play. If he dropped those, Segola will be back to return. He gets it at the 30. He has a head of steam. Tries to turn the corner. Stiff arm man gets inside the 15. We brought down at about the 12-yard line. Noah Odom made the tackle, and just like that, after that return, Armstrong, hold on, we do have a flag down.
And 2 great plays on that play. The first great play was the Plum punter getting the ball. It wasn't a perfect snap. He got the ball, and under crazy pressure somehow found a gap to get rid of the ball, made a decent punt at it, and Segola showing great courage. A lot of guys don't have the courage to come up on a ball at that speed and field it. A lot of guys will let it bounce once or twice. He came up, caught it cleanly, and gave Armstrong about a 25-yard return off of it. Probably a total turnaround there of about 30 yards of field position for Armstrong, although it seemed like there was a penalty there.
Yeah, it was holding on Armstrong, so
That's a killer.
So instead of that gain to the 12, only a 3-yard gain as Segola got that at the 30, but the ball's now at the 27-yard line of Plum, but still in great position Plum is for a go-ahead touchdown. Olsen in the gun, quarterback for Armstrong. Patton to his left, the sidecar. They go 3 wide. Olsen now option. He keeps it himself. He goes up the gut, and not really much doing though for Olsen. We'll call it a gain of about 1 on the play. Thompson made the stop for Plum to bring up a 2nd down and 9 with 8:04 remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
And again, Plum brought another defender up into the box, and did a good job of closing up the gaps and shutting down the run, doing a much better job in the 2nd quarter of holding Armstrong to under 5-7 yards. But that being said, Olsen just had a nice run on an RPO.
Yeah, Olsen there's QB draw, gets inside the 20-yard line to the 19. Now Armstrong has entered the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser is there. I'll gain 7 yards to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
And Armstrong's made a nice adjustment here too. A lot of times when they're playing hard press coverage, when defense is playing hard press coverage on your number 1 and number 2 receivers, you get them out of the slot to give them a little more room to maneuver. They're putting him in the slot a lot.
Now, 1st down and much more for Caleb Retzer. Gets down inside the 15, his first carry of the night. Gets to about the 14-yard line.
Just an old-fashioned sweep there. Retzer caught the ball, did a nice job of finding just enough of a little seam in the defense, and then a gritty finish to the run too. A physical downhill approach there. Nice gain for a 1st down, moving the chains for Armstrong.
Nick Odom made the tackle for Plum, we have a Plum player down, so now we get an opportunity. Let's hear from one of our sponsors, Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, as we are with the great Ryan Sprankle.
Hashtag save on meat.
Exactly. Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, located on 151 McCain Street in downtown Katanning, is proud to be tonight's official broadcast sponsor and is steadfast supporter of Armstrong Athletics. Check out Sprankle's newly remodeled storefront and stop in all of your favorites, including the freshest cuts of quality meats, a failing tradition since 1999. Be sure to stop in on Wednesdays for Sushi Madness, handmade sushi rolls for just $5. Don't forget to like, share, and follow Sprankles on Facebook for plenty of great giveaways and to hashtag save on meat. Sprankle's Neighborhood Market. We can't do what we do without you, so come and see us.
It's good to see the down player walking off the field. Probably just got a little stinger.
So when we resume action, ball will be down at the 14-yard line. That's Caden Thomas that's coming off the field now for Plum.
And they've had Brown lined up at the slot position a couple different times. With that press coverage, this spot on the field, a lot of times you'll see that outside receiver do a quick slant and then Brown do a little bit of a wheel route or a little modified corner route to try to get him one-on-one with some space into the corner of the end zone. It'll be interesting to see if they try to attack that here.
1st and 10 now. Olsen gives it to Patton. He gets hit after about a 2-yard gain for Armstrong. In on the tackles, Jack Majors.
And that was a great stick by Majors. Patton is a tough runner. Usually one guy does not bring down the general. And Majors came up and just put his helmet right in his chest. I mean, that was just a good old school form tackle there by Major. Kind of a lost art anymore, but that was just a good job of coming up, being physical, putting your helmet in a guy's chest and taking him to the ground.
217 rushing yards for Armstrong so far in this game compared to only 18 passing yards. 2nd and 9 now. Olsen keeps it. He has a seam inside the 10-yard line, but he'll be about a yard or two short of the first down marker. Darian Slaughter pushed him out of bounds.
And that's where Olsen's off-season work, that's where all the agility work, all the strength conditioning, all the basketball, that's where all of that pays off, because they had the right defense called for that. They had a free defender on the quarterback one-on-one, and Olsen just made him miss. Good quick feet, made him miss, and got downfield for a nice gain. Unfortunately, another holding call on Armstrong. That's about the 3rd or 4th one in this game, and Plum, to the point of what I talked about earlier with these teams against high-power offenses, your goal is to make them work their way down the field, hoping that they make a mistake sooner or later. Armstrong has been able to finish a couple drives, but overall, if you're Plum, this is what you want. You want to make them work, and you want to keep them under that 28 points per half.
It'll be a 10-yard loss, bring up a 2nd and 19 at the Plum 23-yard line. Wilson now fakes the pat, looks to throw. He has time. Now he rolls out. As he surveys, he keeps it himself. He gets inside the 20-yard line at about the 17-yard line as Armstrong has re-entered the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser is there. He'll bring up a 3rd down and 18.
And if you're a fan of defense out there, if you're watching at home and you're a fan of defense, that was absolutely perfect defense, disciplined defense on the part of Plum. Man coverage, none of the guys lost their receivers, none of them got sloppy or lazy or quit on the play. They stayed with their man even during the scramble drill. The line did a good job of not overcommitting, not giving Olsen a lane to step up and make a play with his legs. Just great overall defense there.
Olsen has time to throw. He goes towards the end zone. That is dropped. Would have been an interception. His 2nd one in the game by Samo Pitts, who had picked off Olsen on the opening drive, but Olsen lucky there to not get an interception there.
I'll tell you, I think Olsen's going to be a lot more careful about throwing Pitts' way, because Pitts, that was a veteran corner play there. He had man-to-man coverage, but he at the same time, a lot of young guys will go man-to-man, and they're just focused sheerly on the receiver. Pitts that time had an eye on the receiver, but an eye on the quarterback. He read the quarterback's motion, he read the quarterback's eyes, and he beat the receiver to the spot of where the pass was going to be. It wasn't a bad read. He just did a great job, almost like Deion Sanders used to do, breaking off the route, going to where the quarterback's going to throw the ball. I'd be very careful about challenging Pitts.
4th and 14. Armstrong will go for it. Olsen now throws down the field. That is incomplete. Pitts on the coverage once again. Great coverage by him, as after excellent field position by Armstrong, Plum's defense stands tall as John Yancey was the intended receiver.
And that time it was a zone look, a rare zone look on the right side for Plum. They've been playing that tight, hard man the whole time. That time decided to go zone. And Pitts again made a great play. Initially there was Yancey was open. It was a good read by Olsen, and he put the ball where he thought he could put it, but Pitts did a great job of recovering, using his speed and coming over at the last second and deflecting that away. That's two very impressive plays from a cornerback, especially a high school cornerback.
That will be their final timeout.
Now we have a timeout by Armstrong, their final timeout of the half, with 6:02 remaining in the second quarter. Plum has, I believe, all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Real quickly, let's hear from another one of our sponsors, Steffi's Country Catering. With over 40 years of experience, Steffi's Country Catering provides sumptuous home-cooked food served by a friendly professional staff to make your next event worry-free. Ask about their grazing tables and 3-tiered cheese ball cakes. Be sure to order some homemade cheese balls or try their extra fresh meat and cheese or pickle and olive plates. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order, and be sure to check out their Facebook page for weekly Sunday takeout specials. Whether it's for a Friday night football tailgate, a family event, or just a fantastic meal, Steffi's Country Catering has food the whole family will love. Mention High Top Sports Network to receive a special 10% discount when you book your next event. Out of the timeout now, 1st and 10 for Plum at the 18-yard line. After the turnover downs by Armstrong, Franzi delayed handoff. There will be up past the 20-yard line to Eric Moore. Will bring up about, it'll be 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and
little no huddle look here for Plum. Armstrong really showing no respect at all for Plum's downfield passing offense. There is no defender right now is beyond 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Even the safety's up about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. At some point, Plum's going to have to challenge Armstrong vertically and loosen up that defense if they want to create lanes for the running game.
Moore is brought down immediately in the backfield for a loss of a few. Jackson Chrisman was in the backfield like a missile to make that a loss of 2 for a 3rd down and 8.
Armstrong's doing a great job of just filling all the gaps. The defensive line is not allowing those offensive linemen to get to the second level and take on those linebackers. So the linebackers are free, and they're doing a great job. Kajini and Zablocki are doing a great job of filling the holes and not giving them any room to breathe, not letting them get the run started.
Ferries now throws over the middle, incomplete. Intended receiver is Nicholas Lamia.
Well, that was a nice play by Segola. That time they had what they wanted. The receiver had inside position on Segola. He did a nice job of coming over the top cleanly and making a nice play, getting the Plum offense off the field. That time Franzi did a good job of staying in the pocket, not having happy feet. He had nice stable presence in the pocket, made a pretty good throw, gave his receiver a chance. If you're an offensive coach, you want the receiver to come towards the ball a little more and not allow that defender to come over the top, be a little stronger in that spot. But Segola made a great play last second, clean deflection. And here we go again, Armstrong, great field position. Again, you know, Plum is playing like that rope-a-dope defense. They're just kind of laying on the ropes, making them body punch, making Armstrong work for every yard down the field, hoping they make a mistake. And so far, that theory's kept this game at a tied game. Armstrong hasn't been able to get the big haymakers that they normally get. They've had to be patient. They've done a nice job. Olsen and company have done a nice job of being patient for the most part. And if you're Plum, you like where this game's going right now. And if you're Armstrong, you know, you like the way you're moving the ball, but the scoreboard, you got to be disappointed when you look at that scoreboard and see that it's tied after all this effort.
Olsen now keeps it on the QB draw. It makes a man miss and gets brought down at about a 48-yard line. Thompson made the tackle for Plymouth. Segola made the fair catch on that last punt return. It's actually calm down at the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for Armstrong with no timeouts remaining and 4:19 left in the second quarter. Olsen now, he fakes it, he looks to throw, he pumps, he goes towards the far sideline. That's intercepted on the play. Logan Brooks, great snag by him, and he gets out of the tackle. Now he doesn't, as he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Olsen's 2nd interception of the game. He has now 8 on the year.
And again, Brooks, I mean, slightly underthrown ball, but at the same time, gave his receiver a chance. Brooks did a great job, though, of adjusting to the ball and making the play on the defensive side. I don't know if I've seen against Armstrong this year a pair of better corners. These corners are not afraid to play very old school, in-your-face press defense, press man, and both of them have made plays on the defensive side. If you're Armstrong, I don't know if I'd challenge them too much more on the outside. You might have to attack the seams on this defense because both these corners look pretty stout.
Yeah, looks like the corners are playing, giving them a little bit of a cushion now. Franzi back to throw. Looks like trying to set up the screen. He's able to get that screen off to Caden Thomas, but not much going as he'll get play right back to the line of scrimmage. Chrisman on the tackle. No gain, brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the 38-yard line after the Plum offense is out there after the Brooks interception.
And again, the defensive line of Armstrong, filling all the gaps, getting good penetration. They are pushing and moving the ball. Armstrong has only 2 yards of offense since the first drive. Plum, I'm sorry, has only 2 yards of offense since the first drive. Armstrong's doing a great job of the front 8, just doing a nice job of taking away all the gaps.
Give is to Moore. He's not going to have much going as Chrisman in on the tackle again for Armstrong. Will pick up maybe 1 yard.
And there was another example of the defensive line absorbing the blocks, and you had Chrisman and Zablocki just flying to the ball, playing downhill, doing exactly what you want from your linebackers. And that time, Chrisman put a nice pop on them, and Zablocki finished it off. But those two, it's just great team defense. The defensive line's keeping the blockers from the second level, and your inside linebackers are playing downhill. That's going to be a long night for Plum if that continues.
2:26 remaining, 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs. Franzi now throws it over the middle behind his intended receiver, Darian Nelson, as 4th down after the interception. Plum offense isn't able to do anything with it as they'll go 3 and out, and Franzi will stay on the field to punt for the Mustangs.
And again, on defense, getting nice pressure right in the face of Franzi. Again, we mentioned it before, he's not the tallest guy. So if you can get some inside pressure on a guy like that, it can affect throws. And that time, it definitely affected the throw. He wasn't able to step into that ball the way he would have liked to. And he took a nice shot there at the end, a good, clean shot. And so if you're Armstrong, that's exactly what you wanted to do defensively, getting the 3 and out. And really, outside of the 2 plays where they've lost containment on special teams and on defense, other than those 2 plays, Plum really has not been effective in moving the ball either through the air or on the ground. As we mentioned earlier, only 2 yards of offense since the first drive. So Armstrong's doing a great job defensively of attacking and taking the game to Plum. Plum really hasn't found any form of consistency against the defense yet.
As that was a short punt by Franzi as it went out about around the 40-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. We're trying to see what the penalty is here. No flag. As let's see where the officials mark it, as one off the side of Franzi's foot. See the ball at the 38-yard line. Once again, the 2 touchdowns by Armstrong, a 7-yard rushing touchdown by Patton, and a 3-yard rushing touchdown by Olson. Last time they were out on the field, Olson threw an interception to Logan Brooks. He has another interception on the night. The other interception was claimed by Plum's Samo Pitts. But hoping for another result, a different result here is Armstrong. 2:16 remaining here in the second quarter. Tie game. Armstrong has none of its timeouts remaining here in the second quarter. Olson now. Option gives it to Patton. He makes a few men miss, and he dives, tries to get out of bounds. He will have the first down at about the 49-yard line.
And another well-executed sprint option by Olson and company there. Olson doing a nice job releasing the ball on the option just at the right time. Patton getting his shoulder pads face downfield and doing what Patton does best, finishing runs. He finished for the first down there. And again, Plum is staying tight in this outside coverage. They feel very confident in their corners. Inside is that's the only place you're going to be able to attack them through the pass game, and Fabian and company have made that adjustment. They have their #1 receiver, Brown, in the slot to give him some more room to operate with. It'll be interesting to see if we can see maybe a double move here before the half, something from the inside where Brown can get some separation.
Same play there to Patton. He picks up 6 yards, making 7 for Patton. He has a hole up the middle, gets inside the 30-yard line, but great run there by Patton. Minute 35 remaining. First down and 10, though, as Armstrong has to hurry now with no timeouts.
And the offensive line that time just created a hole that I think I could have ran through, and the general hit it perfectly, and again finished the run nicely.
Olson now looks to throw. That is complete to Segola on a little bit of a bubble screen as he's brought down at 21-yard line. Call gain of 7 yards. Pitts on the tackle, make it second down and 3 on the play. As clock is winding now, 1:06 as Armstrong has to hurry with no timeouts remaining. Olson now gives it to Patton. Patton rumbles his way. Looks like he's going to be right at the first down marker.
And Pitts again on that last play, proven to be a menace. That was a well set up screen. Pitts did a great job of shedding his block and making that a minimal gain, which should have been a bigger gain than that. It was a well set up play.
3rd and 1, the pitches to Chrisman. He has some speed. He will barrel his way into the end zone for that Armstrong Riverhawks touchdown. What a run there by Jackson Chrisman to give Armstrong the lead, 20-14 with 35 seconds remaining. And now the extra point coming up here by Armstrong. The extra point is brought to you by UFP Parker. That extra point, 20-14. No, what a run there!
And Chrisman looked like a character on a video game that just got a turbo boost. He came in, and I'll tell you what, he was fired out of a cannon there. Shot downfield. He ran like a 4.1 40 there, and then finished the run emphatically, knocking over the defender. He even spiked the ball at the ref. I mean, that's what you want coming off the bench. You want that kind of attitude, that kind of a run. And Chrisman just gave a lot of energy to this Armstrong team. Just got the whole team fired. He has me fired up right now.
Exactly. Hunter Reed on the extra point is good, making 21-14 with 35 seconds remaining, as that was a 19-yard rushing touchdown by Jackson Chrisman. Patton and Olson had rushing touchdowns. Now Chrisman joins the party with the 3rd rushing touchdown for Armstrong in this game.
That was just an amazing job by Chrisman coming in, and like we said, he just got fired. He fired like a cannon. There was no setting up that run. He was 100% full tilt the whole way in, and the way he finished that run, I mean, I pity that defender, because I mean he just caught a cannonball there in the end zone, and Chrisman was fired up, threw the ball at the ref, not in a bad way, just excited, and really gave them a shot of energy there. And what a play going into the half to make it a 7-point game and get the momentum going into the half.
Yeah, now Reed is on to kick deep for Armstrong. Back is Brooks and Moore as Brooks has a kickoff return for a touchdown. They kick it away from him to Eric Moore. Has a little bit of trouble fielding, but is able to field it. Gets tripped up at the 26-yard line. Looks like Noah Shuttleworth on the tackle for the Riverhawks. But 28 seconds left. Plum does get the ball to start the second half, and they have all 3 timeouts, or 2 timeouts actually remaining.
And right here, if you're Armstrong, it's just basic old school discipline rules of football. You have 28 seconds left. 2 things: you don't let it outside. Don't let the ball outside your containment. Don't let the ball behind your safeties. Don't let anybody behind you. Don't let anybody outside you. And let's go into the half here.
As Franzi will just take a knee for Plum.
I thought they would. I thought Plum would take a chance there. They had decent field position and 2 timeouts. Had the ball on their own 28. You would think they'd at least come out with some form of a draw or delayed handoff to see if you get a big gain and go from there. I'm surprised that they just kind of folded the tent there going into the half. They hadn't been able to move the ball very much though, so maybe they just want to go in, talk about things, come out with a new strategy. They get the kick in the second half. Armstrong definitely going in to the going into the locker room with a little extra pep in their step after that big run by Chrisman.
Yeah, as 21-14, Armstrong leads at halftime. The halftime shows by both the Plum and Armstrong Band is brought to you by Olson Chiropractic. When the aches and pains of everyday life have you stuck on the sidelines, make sure to visit the caring professionals at Olson Chiropractic at 159 Butler Road, Suite 2A, West Catania. Dr. Ryan Olson and his experienced staff will get you back in the game in no time. But yeah, keep it right here as we will have coverage of both Plum and Armstrong bands here before we get started with third quarter action.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the Plum Mustang Marching Band to the field. The band is under the direction of Bethany Lloyd with assistant directors Megan Maseko and Noah Kilgan. The band front is expertly coached by Jessica Clark, Danielle Mink, Laura Govecchio, Jenny Festa, and Sue Ellen Wiles. Our 2021 field show, Darkness Takes the Stage, will take you on a thrilling journey through the night. Tonight you will hear selections from Phantom of the Opera, Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Suddenly Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors, and Dancing Through Life and Defying Gravity from Wicked. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy as the Mustang Marching Band takes the stage.
Tear coming down the side of your eyes.
Oh, yeah. Played 2 games together. A couple of holding ones here, saving back in the day.
we first had problems. We had like the capture cards, so we were having, we're gonna have one camera on the floor. Then like the camera just freezes. Like I couldn't show up when I would see it. So Joe said take the capture card and store the camera and replace it with that one. And we had to do the scoreboard thing. I tried adding it on, removing and adding it on here, and I accidentally did the input capture thing, and that messed up the sound.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the senior night edition of the 2021 Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band Halftime Show. Tonight, for your listening and viewing pleasure, the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band will be performing for you this year's halftime show, 88 Keys, as we feature popular piano artists like Billy Joel's Piano Man and Just the Way You Are, Beethoven's For Elise, and Elton John's Your Song. Under the student leadership of drum major Emma Lindahl, guard captains Deanna Posnack and Ashley Rimmel, and drumline co-captains Abel Latanzio and Matthew McClafferty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the popular piano music this evening as the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band appears to be ready for their halftime performance. Drum major Emma Lindahl, is your band ready? Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band, the field is yours for performance. Yes. Now that the band is tuned up, we continue our show this evening as the Riverhawks Marching Band performs one of Ludwig van Beethoven's most famous compositions with For Elise. Our guard and recognize one of the most famous piano artists of all time, Elton John, with a song from his second album that came out in 1970 with Your Song.
I guess it is all I'm saying. I'll tell you, he's got it really good. Oh, come on. Just do it. He's already given us 80 now. Come on. He may play his mic. Although he doesn't have to. Yeah, former band, he's the principal.
Before we close our halftime show this evening, the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band would like to recognize once again their 7 seniors from the graduating class of 2022. These seniors are Elizabeth Gilbertson, Madison McGackey, Casey Peters, Deanna Potosnak, Ashley Rimmel, Trent Strauss, and Andrew Walker. These seniors are represented on the field this evening by not wearing a hat on the field. On behalf of the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band staff, boosters, and members, we'd like to thank you for your commitment to our program and wish you nothing but the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Now, to close our halftime show this evening, we go back to recognizing another legendary piano artist, Billy Joel, by performing his lead single from his 1977 album, The Stranger with Just the Way You Are.
Turn your head for a second.
I'd like to thank you for your kind attentiveness this evening. Go Hawks!
That's amazing now. Give it to me today. 14 yards passing at the half.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Titanic store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Welcome back to Armstrong High School as Armstrong leads Plum 21-14 here as we're getting ready to start third quarter action. Once again, Armstrong with a win clinches a playoff spot tonight. I'm Adam Morganti, Ryan Sprankle with me. And joining us will be our cameraman Mason Flanagan here real shortly to provide you guys some halftime stats. But before that, let's hear from Stanley's Bar and Grill at 507 4th Avenue in Fort City is a great place to catch the game, meet up with friends, and enjoy a great meal on Friday nights. Stanley's Bar and Grill is an Armstrong County institution and features great atmosphere and even better food. Be sure to try the hot sausage sandwich, highly recommended by the High Top Sports Network team. That's Stanley's Bar and Grill, downtown Ford City. So now, Mason, let's go to you for some halftime stats.
Yeah, definitely what a privilege it's been to come back to my alma mater tonight and help cover the Riverhawk football game here at home, my first game here in the new stadium. So what a beautiful facility. But first, I'll look at the halftime stats for Plum. Only 2 completed passes so far by quarterback Sean Franzi, a total of 4 yards up. It's neither team passing very much tonight due to the cold and the rain, but it's mostly been on the ground, and that's where Eric Moore has come into play. He's ran the ball 6 times for 64 yards total. He did have the big, long rushing touchdown to give to tie it up at 7. It wasn't tied because he missed the extra point, but he did have the lone offensive touchdown of the night for Plum. Flipping it over to look at Armstrong, a lot more offensive stats. First, we'll talk about quarterback Caden Olson on the passing side of things. 5 completions on the night, 26 yards, 13 of those going to the leading receiver Isaiah Brown. And looking at the rushing game as well, it's been definitely a huge night for the General Patton as he's carried the ball 17 times, 162 yards. How about that number, Adam? A huge number for him, but not right far, but right behind him. Caden Olson also having a great night. We talked about it a little bit earlier on. It's hard to bring down such a sizable quarterback such as Olson, and that's helped him run the ball 12 times on those quarterback keepers. 95 yards rushing for him.
Yeah, and Armstrong, thank you, Mason, for that. They've mainly been able to keep it on the ground, and with success, not much passing yards at all, only 5 completions, 26 yards for Caden Olson. Armstrong got all their touchdowns on the ground by Alex Patton, Caden Olson, and Jackson Christian, all with rushing touchdowns. And for Plum, a 64-yard run by Eric Moore, and an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Logan Brooks for Plum. And Plum, as we're getting ready to start the second half here, as we'll hear from one of our sponsors real quickly, Shop and Save. Football season is here at Shop and Save at Franklin Village. Has everything you need to put together a perfect Friday night tailgate. Be sure to check out the Butcher Shop, or you can visit Shop and Save's fantastic deli for a custom meat and cheese tray. Shop and Save at Franklin Village, family-owned, community dedicated, and here to help with all of your tailgate needs. Shop and Save at Franklin Village is also hiring part-time workers in every department. Drop off an application or give them a call at 724-543-6389. As now Mason gives the mic back over to my partner, Ryan Sprinkle. And Ryan, what are some of the main observations you saw in that first half?
Well, one thing, if you'd have told me that Armstrong, with an all-state quarterback and their high-powered offense and all the weapons, would only have 14 yards of passing yards, I would have been shocked. I would have definitely taken the over on that bet. And over 200 yards of rushing, that's just uncharacteristic. Normally, when they're off balance, it's the other way. Now, that being said, they're taking what Plum's giving them. Plum has 2 very exceptional cornerbacks, doing a nice job of locking down the outside receivers. They're playing that 2-high safety look most of the time, and really just taking away the big play opportunities, forcing Armstrong to be patient. So Armstrong's taking what Plum's giving them, and Plum's getting what they want. They're getting a close game. They're in the game coming in the second half. I'm sure that was the goal, just to keep it tight. Hopefully be able to make a couple plays. On the defensive side and special teams, Armstrong has played extremely well, pretty much shutting down Plum, limiting opportunities for big plays. That being said, there have been 2 different times earlier in the game when they gave up outside contain, and Plum was able to go down and score. So if you're Armstrong, you just want to keep that containment in line, keep doing what you're doing, keep being patient on offense and taking what they give you, and not forcing anything, not giving them any turnovers. And if you're Plum, you got to find some kind of a rhythm on offense. You got to find something that you can kind of get behind and go with. At the end of the half, their quarterback got shaken up there, and he didn't come out for that kneel down. So it'll be interesting to see if he returns to the field as the quarterback, or if they have a backup in there. Looks like he's back out on the field.
Yep, Franzi back on the field as Armstrong tried a onside kick as Plum had no issue recovering it, take over at the 39-yard line, looking to tie this ball game up. Franzi now. He pumps. He looks to throw. He throws a deep ball in the double coverage. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Darian Nelson, the intended receiver, trying to see Isaiah Brown was in on coverage, trying to get the.
That was a weird look there. Franzi, it looked like they were trying to double move on the outside, but they tried to double move against double coverage, and didn't look like the receiver really did much of a stop and go there. It looked like just pretty much a pure go. So a little bit of confusion there, but at least they're trying to challenge them downfield a little bit. I'm sure they went over that in the locker room. They need to try to loosen them up a little bit.
Jack Valisic was also in on the coverage. Now, this pass is dropped on the play. The intended receiver was Logan Brooks, who had an 85-yard kick return for a touchdown in the second quarter, bring up 3rd down and 10. As if Brooks was able to catch that, looked like he had plenty of daylight in front of him.
Oh, it was a touchdown if he catches the ball. And if you're Franzi, that's extremely frustrating. Again, Armstrong, good pressure, had a body in his face. Franzi did a good job not having happy feet, staying stable in the pocket, making a good confident throw, taking the shot after the throw, put the ball right on his receiver. Should have been a touchdown, drop pass, very deflating from a quarterback standpoint.
3rd down and 10 now for Plum. Franzi tries to set up the screen. That is caught by Eric Moore. Tries to go up the middle, but really has nowhere going. It's brought down at the 40-yard line. Great game tackling there by Armstrong. Dylan Gigini in on the tackle.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was an excellent job by Gigini. A screen called. I thought a great call considering how much pressure Armstrong's been putting on the quarterback. Great call. Quarterback did a pretty good job of setting it up, letting it develop. Gigini just did a great job of recognizing the play and coming back and making the tackle before the running back could get any kind of a head of steam. That was a great individual play by Gigini.
Franzi, good punt taken inside the 20 by Segola as he tries to go to the near side of the field. He makes the man miss, bounces off a few tackles, but not much there going for him as he can be brought down about the 20-yard line. Looks like in on the stop was Nicholas Sheffo in on special teams. But Armstrong will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line with 10:54 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And here, if you're Plum, you know, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. I look for them to look for opportunities possibly on those outside corners, eyes inside, and possibly come off their man and look for an interception opportunity. If you're Armstrong, you just got to keep being patient. Keep taking what they're giving you. You know, they're giving you that RPO. They're giving you that run. Now that time, Pitts, again, is having a great game out there at corner. He's a little shaken up after the play, but that time, you know, earlier in the game, they had their eyes on the receiver. They were following the receivers. Now you can tell these Plum defensive backs, they're still in press man coverage, but they're keeping an eye on the backfield so that they don't give up that contain by following the receiver. And that was a good job of coming up and making the play.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Riverhawks on that run by Patton. Olsen now fakes the Patton. He pumps. He looks to throw. He has time. Throws over the middle. That is dropped on the play. Nicholas Lemia was in perfect position, but he dropped that. Would have been Olsen's 3rd interception of the game. He threw that in the double coverage and bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Riverhawks.
That's that cover one look, and in that cover one look, it's awful hard to throw the ball down on a post route unless you can get somebody up over top of the coverage. That time, the safety did a great job of keeping the action in front of him and reading the quarterback's eyes and coming over and making the play. I mean, he should have had a pick there. That was a gift for Armstrong and a big-time missed opportunity for Plum.
3rd and 7 to the 23-yard line, 10-11 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Olsen looks to the sideline now, 5 seconds left on the play clock. Olsen now settles in. Now he looks to throw, deep drop back. He throws as juggled and caught for the first down by Alex Patton. Great juggling act there by Patton up past the 41-yard line as Olsen showed great patience to find his running back for an Armstrong first down.
And that's a play you never see work or completed. First of all, the patience was amazing by Olsen letting it set up, but the patience and discipline of the offensive line, not allowing themselves to get downfield and get a legal man downfield penalty, staying disciplined, staying behind the line until the ball was completed. Great job by everybody on that play, and Patton, of course, staying with the ball, bringing it in for the first down. Big play. That could be a momentum builder, that kind of play.
Shovel option there. Good gain there by Patton. It'll be good for another Armstrong first down. Byer made the tackle. Now Armstrong is in Plum territory at the 49-yard line, so back-to-back first downs by Patton. One on a reception on third down, and that one picked up on the ground as Patton already has a rushing touchdown in this game. 1st and 10 once again for Armstrong at the Plum 49-yard line. Olsen now on the QB draw, keeps it. Trucks the man, makes a few misses, gets a first down again, but much more. Gets inside the 40-yard line. Brought down at about the 37-yard line. Jack Majors made the tackle, but 3 straight plays, 3 first downs for the Riverhawks as they'll actually mark it at the 36. Once again, Armstrong going with the same MO and putting it on the ground as they did for pretty much the whole first half.
And once again, we see the off-season work by Olsen paying off. All those squats, all that training, the strength in the legs and the quickness, getting that, they had them. They had it. They had the defensive scheme designed to stop that play. They should have had him in the backfield. Olsen did a great job of shedding the tackler, advancing downfield, breaking a couple more tackles. Now there looks to be a little bit of confusion on the offensive side here.
Yeah, there'll be a timeout taken by Armstrong. It'll be their first timeout of the half. They have 2 remaining. Let's hear from the sponsor, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop. Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of the High Top Sports Network. It's a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign and laser engraving needs. Located 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today. We have some scores from other Greater Allegheny games. Hampton leads Knock at halftime 17-0. All these scores at halftime. Highlands leads Greensburg-Salem 20-6 at halftime, and Indiana leads Mars 20-3. Again, this is you are watching WPIAL football on the High Top Sports Network. This game is brought to you by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market. It'll be 1st and 10 though for Armstrong at the 36-yard line of Plum. Their first possession of the second half.
And again, that screenplay on third down, so deflating for the Plum defense. You know, you had a near interception, should have had a stop on first down.
Olsen now gives to Chrisman. He has a head of steam up the middle, gets inside the 20, inside the 10. It'll take multiple Plum defenders to bring him down. It'll be 1st and goal at about the 3-yard line.
And we talk about the general bringing tackles, dragging tackles downfield, but Chrisman, that's the second time he's had a run where, I mean, literally, he just looked like he was exploded out of a cannon. And a great read there by Olsen on the RPO, on the option there. Great job of faking, reading the defense, pulling, and taking the outside, untouched into the end zone. Great read. What a good drive for Armstrong. Had the near interception, but other than that, pretty flawless football down the field. Exactly what you want coming out of the half.
Exactly. Olsen with his second rushing touchdown of the game. Now time for the UFP Parker extra point. UFP Parker is an essential business with essential people like you. That extra point is blocked by Logan Brooks. The Hunter Reed was in on the extra point attempt as before that touchdown, Armstrong entered the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser is there. Buckle up with State Farm to find auto insurance that fits you and your family's needs.
And that was a
Ryan
live ball
Bowser
there.
can assist you with all of your auto insurance needs, from collision comprehensive to rental and rideshare. State Farm is the largest auto insurance provider in the United States, and Ryan Bowser can help you find the plan that's right for you and your family. Contact Ryan Bowser at 724-763-9331 today. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. That was a live ball there. I mean, they did a nice job of blocking the kick there, and then Plum just kind of stopped the play as if it was a dead play. But you know, that's a play where Plum, after the block, can pick it up and run with it. So I don't know what, there was some confusion there as far as rolling, I think, on Plum's part. Possibly a missed opportunity. I mean, you never know if you're going to make it all the way back, but you know, that's a live ball there. So that's two opportunities, you know, on the kick block there, which was a great kick block by Plum, but they weren't able to scoop it up and run it back. And then, you know, with the great play by the safety earlier in that drive for the interception opportunity, just kind of coming out here shooting themselves in the foot.
This kick is on the ground, taken by Samo Pitts as he makes a man miss at the 30. Will be brought down by multiple blue shirts at about the 36-yard line for Plum. As after Logan Brooks had that 85-yard kick return for a touchdown, they have avoided kicking the ball to Brooks. So smart move there by Armstrong, as ball will be at the 36-yard line for Plum as they went 3 and out on their first possession of the second half.
And if you're Armstrong, one thing I can say that was concerning on the last drive, there was definitely some plays available through the air that Plum just wasn't able to haul in. But we haven't seen any real openings in that pass defense, and they had a couple spots there. So that's something I'm sure they addressed during the timeout.
High snap and fumble, trying to see who's able to get on the ball. High snap is really between Franzi and looked like Moore.
Yeah, that snap just got away from the center. Boy, very fortunate to get that ball back if you're Plum. I thought Armstrong had bodies around it. I thought that they were going to get the recovery. Just the snap just got away from him there. High snap again. You know, your quarterback's not the tallest guy in the world. You know, it's very important to put that snap on him every play.
Second down and 14. That was covered by Weisenbach for Plum very wisely. Now, delayed handoff given to, looked like Brooks on the play. It'll be loss of 2 though, back to the 29. Or that was actually Nelson. It'll be Julius Barnes made the tackle for the Riverhawks. Make it 3rd down and 16, back at the 29-yard line.
And I tell you what, if you're Plum, Franzi, the sophomore quarterback, he's showing good poison there. He's taking some shots. He's taking a lot of pressure, and those last couple throws I thought were some of his best as far as staying in there. He's shown a lot of resilience back there. If you're a Plum fan, you like what you see from your young quarterback.
Franzi tried to roll out. There is a flag on play. His pass is incomplete. He was brought down hard on the play by Armstrong's Cherokee Streckengoss, but the flag was in the offensive backfield as Franzi was rolling to his right. So it was an incomplete pass. So if this is against Plum, let's see if Armstrong decides to decline the penalty, force a 4th down, or accept it to make it 3rd and even longer.
Yeah, a lot of times when you see a late scramble like that, and the quarterback gets out of the pocket, gets out of the protection, it actually feeds into the defense's hands, because now all of a sudden the defense becomes free to the quarterback, and it forces the lineman to sometimes make a grab to try to protect your quarterback. That time, Franzi took another shot. He's taken a lot of shots in this game. And, you know, sophomore quarterback, 5'8", 150 pounds, you definitely don't want your sophomore quarterback taking a lot of shots. Like I said, that being said, he showed pretty good composure out there. If you're a Plum fan, you like to see that. You like to see that grit, being able to come back from those hits. But at the same time, not a recipe for success.
4th and 16, Franzi will boot it. It'll bounce at about the Armstrong 45-yard line, take a Plum bounce down at about the 35-yard line of Armstrong. So Armstrong defense forces another 3 and out, as last time Armstrong was out on offense, Caden Olson with his second rushing touchdown of the day with a 2-yard rushing score. 7:26 remaining here in the third quarter. Olson now has 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. Look at the greater Allegheny standings coming to today. Hampton's at 5-0, Armstrong 3-2, Greensburg Salem 3-2, Plum at 2-3, Highlands 2-3, Indiana 2-3, Mars 2-3, knocking last place at 1-4. Now they'll give us to Patton as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Thomas. They'll actually give him 1 yard on play. It'll be second down and 9 yards to go at the 35-yard line of Armstrong. It's once again the bread and butter's been the ground game, as Olson came in as the third leading passer in WPIAL, but in first in passing touchdowns, but Armstrong has just kept on the ground all night long. Olson now, he pumps, he looks aired out, he has him in deep, that's Isaiah Brown wide open at the 40, he's first down much more, and he gets dragged down inside the 30-yard line. Pitts made the tackle, pretty ball there by Olson, really on a rainbow, making first down and 10.
And you know, we've been waiting to see that. They've been setting up for that all game long. You have Brown on the inside slot with a free release and tight man coverage on the outside, which means he's in man coverage with a free release. So I think that is going to be there whenever they want it, especially with a double move like that with the good protection up front.
Chrisman with the carry, Pitts on the tackle, about maybe give him 2 yards on plays at the 28. It'll be second down and 8. Chrisman does have a rushing touchdown in this game to about from 36 yards, as we have an injured Plum Mustang down on the field. Bring up second and 10 at the 27-yard line. Now let's hear from one of our sponsors, Belmont Complex, the official kickoff sponsor of Armstrong football. Sponsored by Belmont Sports Complex in Catania. Check out their Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey programs. For more information about lesson times, program administrations, and more, find them online at www.belmontcomplex.net or call Gary Montbell at 724-548-1067, extension 3050 today. This looks like he's able to get back up on his own power. So we have 6:19 remaining now in the third quarter. Dominic Byer is now walking off field for Plum. Armstrong looking to make this a 3-touchdown game, as once again, if they win this game, they punch their ticket to the WPIAL playoffs. Plum needs to win their next 2 games and get some help if they want to make it into the WPIAL playoffs. As Plum, they were in it last year as they lost to Thomas Jefferson.
There's nobody covering Brown up top. There's nobody covering Brown. I wonder if they're going to recognize that.
In the slot, no one is. Olson now back at the quarterback. He looks to throw. Now he pumps and he runs up the middle, keeps it himself. He jukes the man at the 25, gets inside the 20, up the middle, inside the 5. He stays on his feet, and he's in from 27 yards for the Armstrong Riverhawks touchdown. Yeah, what a run by Caden Olson.
That was just great body control. Great body control by Olson. He never gave up on it. He just kept the feet moving, kept great balance, showed his lower body strength there, being able to maintain balance through some of those tackle attempts. And somehow he just kept his feet and kept driving his feet and found a way to get into the end zone. Unbelievable effort by Olson.
Absolutely. Now, the on-to attempt, the UFP Parker extra point is Hunter Reed. He had his last extra point attempt blocked. As now we have a fake, but before Olson rolled out, tried to throw it, someone from Plum jumped off sides. And if you're Olson, you're wishing they didn't want to call that, because as now they're going to Armstrong is going to bring the offense back out on the field to go for the 2-point conversion to make this a 21-point game. As Olson will be out there. So they go 4 receivers to the far side of the field. Patton, the running back, beside Olsen. Waiting for signals. Now play clock down to 3, down to 2. Able to get it off. Olsen, he plows his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Just enough. That was great effort extending that ball over the plane.
Forget his quarterback position. He's looked a lot like a running back tonight with his 3 rushing touchdowns and now that 2-point conversion. He now has 8 rushing touchdowns on the year as Armstrong is up by 21 points with 6:08 left now in the third quarter.
Well, that's a mark of a great quarterback. You know, you come out on a night where maybe you don't have your absolute best stuff. Maybe the defense has some athletes on the corner at the cornerback position that you haven't seen, able to cover a lot of ground, make plays. But you know, you got to hand it to Olsen because great leadership. He's finding ways to get around this defense and to maneuver this defense using his legs, using his reading ability on these running plays, on these options. I assume on some of these plays he's given the ability to make checkdowns, checking into the correct plays, just doing a great job of staying in the game, not letting these individual plays affect him, and keeping his head in the game and leading the team, doing a great job of just maintaining this game.
Now we have another short kick taken by one of Plum's upmen. That is Jack Tongles. He'll be brought down at about the 39-yard line by Dozik Zablocki. And we mentioned how good Olsen has been on the ground in this game, but that was set up by a long connection on a pass from Olsen to Isaiah Brown that got them at the Plum 28-yard line. So keep that in mind too, as Olsen was able to air it out and throw his best pass of the night.
But and that play, honestly, it's been there all night, and it'll be there all night as long as they're in that defense where they're playing that tight man on the outside, and the inside receiver has the free release. They'll be able to do that more. But I'd look for, as long as this game continues like this, I'd imagine that ball's not going to go in the air very much the rest of the game.
Franzi, the quarterback, has 2 possessions in this quarter for Plum, 2 3-and-outs. Brooks, the motion man, he fakes he actually gives it to Brooks. He has a head of steam up past the 50, and he's able to get that Plum first down. Good first play of the drive.
And actually, I'm surprised that's the first time we've seen a jet sweep. The only 2 plays that have been successful for Plum tonight were on the kick return and on the sweep play before getting to the outside, bouncing to the outside. The outside is really the only spot that Armstrong's shown any kind of weakness on. That's the first time we've seen a jet sweep tonight. Very successful jet sweep.
Ball now on the Armstrong side of the field at the 49-yard line for Plum with 5:31 remaining in the third quarter. Franzi waiting for the snap. Gives it to Eric Moore, and he's going to be tripped up pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Chrisman was the first guy in there to trip up Moore. It will be no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Plum. As Chrisman, he's been in the backfield a lot this evening on Plum runs.
Well, I'll tell you, Plum continues to try the inside, and it's just not there. Armstrong defensively on the defensive line, they are absorbing all the blocks. None of the offensive linemen are able to get to the second level. And, you know, whether it be Chrisman, whether it be Zablocki, whether it be Gagini, they are getting the penetration. They're playing downhill. They're making plays. At this point, the only thing I've seen that Plum has is the outside running ability. So I look for them to go back to an outside run.
Fake the sweep to Brooks. Franzi keeps it himself. He's sandwiched by multiple Armstrong defenders. Caleb Retzer was the first guy in on the tackle.
Retzer with the old forearm shiver there. I mean, that was a knockout attempt by Retzer. It was kind of an awkward exchange there. He kind of turned into Retzer, caught him off guard. I think Retzer just instinctively put his elbows up there, but it definitely looked like a forearm shiver WWF style.
3rd and 5 now from the Armstrong 43-yard line. Plum has not been very good on 3rd down so far in this game. As they go 3 receivers at the top of your screen. Franzi now gives it to Moore, and he's going to be gobbled up right in the backfield Great job there by Cherokee Schreckenglass, the first guy there, as he's going to get no gain to bring up 4th down in 5. So decision time for head coach Mason Morgan.
I'm just shocked at the continuous.
Or Matt Morgan, excuse me.
Continuous attempts to run up the middle by Plum. I mean, Armstrong has proven time and time again they are not giving anything up the middle, and Plum keeps trying to come back to it. I don't know if they're thinking they're going to wear them down, but just nothing there up the middle. Armstrong doing a great job of just stuffing up those middle runs.
Plum will go for it, and that pass is caught wide open, and going to the end zone is Logan Brooks for the 43-yard touchdown, as really looked like Armstrong sent the house on that play. Or actually, that is Darren Nelson, my bad.
Well, they did send the house.
Reception, but
they sent the house, and that was probably the best job all night Plum offensive line has done. They stood in, they maintained their space, didn't allow anybody through. Armstrong did bring the house. They left their corners and safeties on islands against these athletic receivers, and that time Franzia was able to step into the throw, little underthrown, but got enough on it, and the receiver did the rest of the work. But if Plum can protect the quarterback on those blitzes, that's going to be there, and they could make a run at this game.
We have a flag there on the UFP Parker extra point, as the snap was bobbled there as Boleno was in on to attempt the extra point, as it's offsides against Armstrong. So Plum will try it again. It looks like the extra point team will be back out there, Angelo Boleno, as Plum, they did have one extra point be no good on kind of a botched snap, but then they were able to get a 2-point conversion.
Been a lot of times on special teams tonight, both teams looking a little sloppy, and you got to wonder if maybe the cold, this is really the first time they've had to play in colder weather with a damp field. You wonder if it's having an influence on the special teams.
Yeah, but big possession there by Plum to get back into this game on that 37-yard touchdown reception by Darren Nelson on 4th and 5.
Absolutely. They had to have that. They had to have a play there. They made a play. Now, it's up to the defense to shut down this running game, to try to not allow Brown to get open in the holes like he did on that last pass play, to make sure that you do a good job of sealing him off, not letting him escape into the hole in the defense. And if you're Plum, if you can get a turnover here, if you can get a quick stop and come back down the field. I said it a couple drives ago, the second half, Plum is doing a better job of protecting the quarterback, and they're starting to find the holes in that Armstrong secondary. So if you're Armstrong, you want to take this ball, you want to possess this ball, get a nice 7-8 minute drive, finish with a touchdown, and effectively end the game. If you're Plum, you want to get a quick stop, come back, you go back to the things that have been effective on offense and try to make this a real game.
Absolutely. Back deep to receive for Armstrong about the 5-yard line is Chrisman, Segola, and looks like Isaiah Brown's the third man back deep for the Riverhawks.
Jackson, Isaiah.
Boleno on to kickoff for the Mustangs. Low line drive kick over the head of one of the up men. Risky there, but it is recovered.
Well, that was
Armstrong.
That was one of those kicks that kind of goes into no man's land. That's why a lot of times, that's why they design those types of kicks, to cause confusion amongst who's going to handle it. It was a little high, mishandled, but good heads-up play by Dozik Zablocki. Just falling on it, not trying to do too much with it, making sure that you don't do anything to give these guys a big break where they can have the ball inside the 30 again.
Ball at the 24-yard line, 3:01 left here in the third quarter of play. Armstrong is 2 for 2 on scoring drives so far in this quarter, as Olsen has 2 rushing touchdowns in this quarter, 3 in the whole game. Olsen gives it to Patton, but he's not going to have anywhere to go on the play. The first guy there for Plum was Dominic Byer.
And
Being
that-
about no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
That time Plum came out, they had a body right over top of the center, and they did a great job of just making sure they didn't get gouged up the middle like they've been getting gouged up the middle. And, you know, the one thing is when you commit like that to the inside, it definitely opens up the outside. And, again, nobody on Brown coming off the snap. There's nobody on the number 1 receiver right now. Now they're finally shifting.
Olsen now back to throw. Now he'll keep it on the draw as he trucks a Plum defender, and he's able to get up past the 25-yard line to, looks like the 27, gain of 3 yards. Caden Thomas on the tackle, make it 3rd down and 7. Big 3rd down for the Armstrong offense and the Plum defenses. Plum just made it a 2-score game with a Nelson 43-yard touchdown reception by Franzi. Franzi's 7th touchdown of the season on 4th down on that last drive. 1:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Olsen is back to pass. He has time. He throws it over to the near sideline to Segola, and he's going to have enough for the 1st down up past the 35-yard line, brought down at about the 36. Pitts and Thomas made the tackle for the Riverhawks, but big 1st down there by Armstrong.
An odd call on the defensive side by Plum. That was one of the few times they've been in a zone look, a cover 3 look, giving up a lot of cushion on 3rd and 7. And, you know, heads up play by Olsen and the receiver on the option route. Just, you know, stopping, taking what they gave you, stop at the sticks, make the completion.
Olsen now, he rolls out looking to throw, throws over the middle, is incomplete as he bounced the ball to his intended receiver, Isaiah Brown, who had a big reception on Armstrong's last drive that set up Armstrong in excellent position to score their last touchdown, and they did, but bring up a 2nd down and 10 with 57 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
That time you saw Olsen after the play, you know, hit his pads. Me. He wanted that. And I think he just rushed the throw a little bit, a little off balance. Again, though, confusion on the defense. Nobody covering Brown. You almost want to have a quick call in if you're Armstrong, and they come out that way. You want to have a quick call where you just quick snap it and release Brown downfield. That's the 3rd time there's been confusion on who's going to cover Brown in the slot, and they've went about 10 seconds pre-snap with nobody on top of them. And I'm sure that's what the timeout here is about for Armstrong, saying, "Hey guys, we got to take advantage of this when there's that confusion on defense."
Yeah, so much for a quick call as Frank Fabian has to spend his 2nd timeout of the 2nd half. Let's hear from one of our sponsors, our scoreboard sponsor, TGIF Solutions, the official social media sponsor of High Top Sports Network and the home of Shellhammer Atwood Agency, is proud to be tonight's official scoreboard sponsor. The experienced professionals at TGIF Solutions can assist you and your loved ones with any insurance need, big or small. TGIF Solutions specializes in all types of insurance, auto, home, family, business, farm, and commercial. Visit TGIF Solutions to get your personalized quote today. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters. And thank you guys for tuning into our broadcast. As if you or someone you know is a local business owner interested in sponsoring High Top Sports Network's coverage of Armstrong Athletics now or in the future, please contact us via staff at hightopsportsnetwork.com. Now, 2nd and 10, Olsen with the option pass, shovel to Patton. He gets past the 40-yard line and will get to the 42. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Now we have 2 injured Plum Mustangs on the field. And another thing about the High Top Sports Network, you can also contact us by phone at 724-824-3554. You can also find us at www.hightopsportsnetwork or on Facebook at High Top Sports or on Twitter at hightop_sports. Now, from Phoenix Physical Therapy containing Rural Valley, life is all about motion, so orthopedic injuries are just a part of life. Phoenix Physical Therapy Rural Valley Katanning will help you recover, recharge, and rise to new heights after an injury by creating a program focused on you. Your life should be pain-free and filled with activities that you love, and with help from Phoenix, you can get there. Schedule 24/7 online at phoenixphysicaltherapy.com or call us today to make your appointment. Once again, Armstrong leads by 14 points. If Armstrong holds on to win this game, they will clinch a spot in the WPIAL playoffs for the 4th time in school history. Plum needs to win its next 2 games and get some help, as looked like Caden Thomas was able to get up on the field on his own power for Plum. But that's what's at stake here right now, is Armstrong is 2nd in the Greater Allegheny standings, and Plum is currently in 4th place in the Greater Allegheny standings. The top 5 teams in the conference will qualify to make the playoffs, which start in 2 weeks in the first weekend of November.
Well, and again, Armstrong set itself up with a manageable 3rd down, 3rd and a long 4. And this is a huge 3rd down, because if they can convert here, it pretty much guarantees that they can drain another 2 to 3 minutes at least off the clock before they give it back to Plum, and it limits the amount of potential opportunities that Plum's going to have in the 4th quarter. So, if nothing else, from a keep-away standpoint, this is a big 3rd down and 4.
You know, a 3rd down and 4 for the Riverhawks. Olsen now, he gives it to Patton, and he tries the near sideline, but he's not going to have enough for the 1st down. Nelson tripped up Patton on the play. They'll gain a 3, bring him a 4th down in 2, so 2 touchdowns. The ball at the 45-yard line. Does Armstrong try to go for it here, as it looks like they're going to leave the offense out there?
Well, I think the math would tell you to punt here, but it definitely looks like they're considering going for it. Now they've already used 2 timeouts. Oh, okay, that's the end of the quarter.
Yeah, so they'll sit on it at the end of the 3rd quarter, as you are watching WPL football on the High Top Sports Network, as this is the Sprinkles. This broadcast brought to you by Sprinkles Neighborhood Market. We will take a break here as Armstrong leads Plum 35-21. We'll be back after a short message.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop, where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
We're back here on the High Top Sports Network to start 4th quarter action, as Armstrong will bring the punting unit on. After 4-2, Jackson Chrisman will punt for the Riverhawks at his own about 33-yard line, as Chrisman, high line drive punt, bounces at about the 30-yard line, and it'll trickle out of bounds. Looks like at the 24-yard line, Brooks was back to receive the punt for Plum, but Plum has an opportunity now to make this a 1-possession game, as they were able to make it a 2-possession game on its last drive, courtesy of a Darren Nelson 43-yard touchdown reception.
And I like the call by Armstrong of punting there. You have been running the ball better than maybe arguably you have all season. I understand the temptation, but at the same time, at this point, it's a game of time and space, and you want to make Plum work. You definitely don't want to give them a gift of field position at the 50. So now, you know, here Plum is. They've found some cracks in that Armstrong secondary. They've been able to protect a lot better here in the second half. So let's see if they can move the ball downfield again.
Absolutely big possession here early on in this 4th quarter, 11:54 remaining. Keep in mind, too, Armstrong only has 1 timeout left, and Plum has all 3 of its timeouts. Keep in mind as we approach the end of this game. Franzi now has a short bubble screen that is complete, making a few men miss and getting up past the 30. Great job there by Plum, by Logan Brooks, gets up past the 31-yard line.
It's a great effort by Brooks, and again, the young quarterback, the sophomore Franzi, looking a lot more confident in the second half. Again, he stepped into the ball, snapped it out there real nice on the quick hitch, and just looks like he has a little bit more pep in his step here, a little more of a confident look, a little swagger by Franzi.
It'll be second down and 3 from the 31-yard line. Franzi back in the gun, more the sidecar to his left. Franzi looks to pass. He gets out the Brooks on this swing screen, but Armstrong reads that perfectly. In on the tackle, Isaiah Brown. Bring up a third down and short. And also, Retzer makes the tackle. Loss of 1.
That time I thought that Brooks, he made it a predetermined decision. He was going to fake outside, go inside. There was yards to be gained on the outside there. I think he made a rush decision there of going inside. There was definitely something on the outside there. Missed opportunity by Plum.
Big third down, though, here for Plum. 3rd and 3. 10:27 remaining. As we have a flag and looks
it's going to be a neutral zone infraction.
Exactly. So that will give Plum a automatic first down.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually poor officiating, if you ask me. They should let that play run out. If you're on Plum, if you're on offense, that's a chance at a free play that the official took away from them there. So if you're Plum, you're a little frustrated. If that was a pass play, you could have had a free play there.
But at the very least, though, Plum's able to stay on the field in the first down. Can't really complain about that ball at the 36-yard line. Franzi, the quarterback, fakes it to Moore, and that is caught over the middle to Brooks, and that'll be a first down, and he's dragged down on the play by Isaiah Brown.
That was close to a horse collar there. I was expecting to see a flag on Armstrong there. It was close. He definitely had a hold of his the back of his jersey there. Very fortunate if you're Armstrong that a 15-yard call wasn't made there at the end of that play. Again, the only real hole in the armor for Armstrong has been that middle seam, middle zone area because of the way they're playing up and the way they're playing coverage. They're leaving that middle open. And a couple times earlier in the game, Franzi missed passes over there. We saw a couple drops in the seam. Last couple drives, though, they've been taking advantage of that. It'll be interesting to see if Armstrong mixes it up, changes it up, maybe drops a linebacker back into that hole, try to confuse the young quarterback and get a pick or some kind of a deflection. If you're Plum, hey, if it's there, keep striking, keep going for it. It's been there. Keep working the middle of the field as long as they're giving it to you.
Yeah, and we have a score update, too, is one of the other games we're covering on the High Top Sports Network. Kiski and Plum Kiski and Pine Richland are tied at 27. In what quarter is that, Ryan?
It's a fourth quarter, 27-27. I'm not sure on the time left, but what a huge win that would be for Kiski on the road at Pine Richland if they could pull off the upset there.
Franzi now unloads a deep pass into double coverage, incomplete. Samo Pitts, the intended receiver. Good coverage there by the Riverhawks. Lane Hefner.
And that was a great job by Hefner. Last second, looking back at the quarterback, finding the ball and making the deflection. A lot of times you're going to see pass interference on an underthrown ball like that. Good awareness of getting his head back towards the quarterback. As long as you have your head back towards the quarterback, they're not going to make that call unless it's egregious. That was a good job by Hefner there. But at the same time, late on the throw that time was Franzi on the deep pass. He held on to that ball about a second longer than he should have.
Now he gives it to Moore on the draw. He's able to get out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Segola made the tackle, and he was also in on coverage on that last play. So bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs with 9:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Armstrong, if this result holds for the Riverhawks, they will clinch a playoff spot. Plum, they need to win their next 2 games and help to clinch a playoff spot. A big play here as all these third down plays will be big in this game for both teams. Franzi back at the quarterback for Plum. He looks to throw. He pumps now. He steps up as he looks to run. But he is sacked on the play by Chrisman. As great job. Not sure if that was QB spy or not, but
no, just great coverage downfield by Armstrong, and a good job of the defensive line of not over pursuing and creating great run lanes. They kind of just felt it out. They applied pressure, but they maintained discipline in their lanes. Put pressure on Franzi, forced them outside, but were disciplined enough to track him down and not allow him to escape. And a good job by the defensive backs of maintaining discipline on the backside and really not allowing any receivers to get lost in the coverage.
So that was a big third down stop of the Plum offense stays out there for this 4th down, as Plum will take a timeout with 9 minutes to go, 4th and 8 ball at midfield. That was timeout by Matt Morgan. He's in his 9th season with Plum, has a record of 33-54. Before Plum, he coached at Penn Hills for 2 years, Gateway for 3 years, and he's a commercial account manager with a G&G Fitness and Equipment. So that is the scoop on head coach for Plum, Matt Morgan, who led his team to the WPIAL semifinals last year with an 8-1 record as they lost to Thomas Jefferson in that game. Now let's hear from Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop. Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network. It's a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign and laser engraving needs. Located 409 4th Street in downtown Forest City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffees, cups, and more. It's now 4th and 8 at midfield for Plum, down by 2 scores with 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
And what a big play this is. This arguably could be the game. Down 2 scores. It's going to be awful hard to come back if they don't convert here.
Franzi with 3 receivers at the top of your screen. High snap. Franzi's able to corral it. And he just throws it downfield. That is caught at the 45, but it's going to be way short of the first down marker. That is Nelson on the reception. Shuttleworth made the first down saving tackle, so big stop by the Armstrong defense as they'll take over an excellent field position. First down and 10 at the Armstrong 45-yard line.
That's a huge stop by Armstrong. What a job by Franzi. Again, a high snap. About the 4th time we've seen that. But Franzi did a great job of gathering the ball, finding a receiver, putting it on the receiver, giving him a chance to make a first down. But Shuttleworth did a great job of just coming up there and making the sure tackle, not allowing him to shed the tackle, and giving Armstrong a chance to put this thing away.
Olsen now back out at quarterback with 3 rushing touchdowns in this game for the Riverhawks. So now he calls Patton go back to his left. And Olsen keeps it. He'll get back to the 45. That's it. Great job by the Plum defense to have a good read on the read option. Darren Nelson made the stop. No gain, bring up a second down. And 10 as 8:33 remaining now in the 4th quarter. Might be a little too early to start using those timeouts, but Plum does have 2 timeouts remaining. Armstrong has 1.
At this point, if you're Plum, you just got to sell out on these next 2 plays. Sell out, stop the run, force a punt, maybe try to block the punt. But, you know, any first downs at this point just put you further away.
Olsen claps his hands. Well, option play, he keeps it himself, and he breaks a tackle, and he takes a few Plum defenders with him for a ride past the first down marker, but Byer is able to hang on and tackle him, but Olsen is putting his 6'5", 205-pound frame to work for the Armstrong first down.
And that time, Caden Thompson came in free and had a free shot on Olsen. Instead of making the tackle, he went for the strip. Great job of ball handling, good hand strength by Olsen of avoiding that strip attempt and then getting his shoulders downfield and making it a first down.
Olsen gives this to Patton as he trips to the 41-yard line. Pick up only 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8. Olsen has 152 yards on the ground for Armstrong tonight, so he's just having a great evening on the ground. Bring up 2nd down and 8. Patton there on that last rush, as now we are approaching 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter of play. Olsen now looks to throw. He has time. Throws a rainbow down the field. Incomplete. A little underthrown. Segola was the intended receiver. Great coverage, though, on the play by Pitts.
Again, Pitts showing great athleticism, great ability to recover. He kind of gambled on that route, thought it was going to be a shorter route. It ended up going deep. He had enough speed to recover and enough length to get a hand on that ball last minute. Slightly underthrown ball, but not a bad ball at all. And Pitts just again making a very good athletic defensive play on the ball there.
6:59 remaining in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 8 at the 41-yard line for Armstrong. Olsen will air it out once again. He has time. He throws deep towards the Armstrong sideline as incomplete. Shuttleworth, the intended receiver.
A little miscommunication there between Olsen and Shuttleworth. You see them kind of looking at each other right now. Shuttleworth kind of ran like a flag stop there. I think Olsen was anticipating that he was going to continue towards the sidelines. A little miscommunication. They had what they wanted there, though.
So Armstrong's offense back on the field as Olsen, what I thought we would do, he does a pooch punt, gets inside the 5, and he'll be down at the 5-yard line. So great execution there.
Yeah, he stuck that.
Yeah, as Olsen, he did line up a few yards like back as if he wasn't going to take a normal snap. Shuttleworth downed it for Armstrong, but yeah, 4th down and 8. Olsen with a little pooch punt.
That punt there was how I see all my pitching wedge shots going before I hit them. I mean, he just stuck that right inside the 5-yard line beautifully. That was a great job by Olsen with the pooch punt.
6:44 left in the 4th quarter. Plum is 95 yards from the goal line. They need 2 touchdowns and 2 timeouts, so if you're Plum, you got to hurry here. As Franzi has 1 touchdown pass in this game, a 43-yard touchdown reception to Darren Nelson in the 3rd quarter on a 4th and 5 play. Franzi is pretty much at his own goal line right now, Moore beside him. Franzi now, he fakes it to Moore. Now he rolls out, he throws deep towards the middle of the field. His trip up on the play at the 40, and that's going to draw a flag. The intended receiver on the play was Logan Brooks. He was tripped up.
And that was a gift in that situation. Plum, again, good protection. Armstrong and more of a prevent coverage, not bringing as much pressure. But Franzi, sophomore quarterback, one thing he'll learn as he goes, and it's a process all quarterbacks go through, is sometimes as a younger quarterback, you want to see it before you throw it. Sometimes it causes you to throw late versus anticipating where the opening is going to be and getting rid of it on time. That time he was a little late with the throw, but it worked out because of the late throw. The underthrow it caused the receiver to get taken out by the recovering defensive back.
So pass interference is not a spot foul in high school football. It's a 15-yard penalty, moves the ball out to the 20-yard line. So plenty of breathing room now for Plum offense, and the quarterback Franzi, 1st and 10. He looks to throw, he has time, goes over the middle. That is complete for the 1st down to Brooks. Olsen made the tackle at about the 38-yard line, gain of 18 yards.
And that time Franzi got rid of the ball on time. The back of his drop, ball was out. He hit him right down the seam, right before the safety, wedged it in there. Very nice job of stepping into that throw and firing her away.
Franzi with time, but no one in the area. Brooks, the intended receiver, tried to throw over the middle. Segola in on coverage, as really when Franzi has dropped back the throw, Armstrong hasn't really gotten much pressure on him during this game.
No, I mean, in the first half, they were doing a good enough job of getting at least bodies in his sight line and affecting throws. But in the second half, there hasn't been the pressure on him that there was in the first half. they aren't getting the bodies in the sight line, and he's able to step into throws, showing a lot more confidence. You know, the sophomore's progressing kind of before our eyes here.
That was an interesting comparison you made to him as number 6, where as Baker Mayfield's shorter quarterback.
He looks like Baker Mayfield out there.
Does.
I mean, it looks like Baker.
I agree.
He really does.
Walk down the 4.
He even walks around like that.
Able to hand it off to Moores. He's able to get the outside, turn it upfield, and plow through a few Armstrong defenders for the first down. There is a flag pretty much as the play starts to wrap up. Jackson Chrisman made the tackle. Flag down at about the Armstrong 49-yard line.
It's usually a bad spot for a foul for a defense.
See what the call is. Personal foul, face mask against the Riverhawks. Second, as it was a first down, so second big penalty there by Armstrong. And this drive, they'll move the ball up to the 34-yard line of Armstrong for Plum. Franzi's back to pass once again. Throws deep down the middle. He's open. That's Brooks, but incomplete. Little underthrown.
Slightly underthrown again, just getting the ball out slightly, just a little off time there. That's something that they'll work on in the next few weeks in the offseason. I'm seeing a lot of good things from Franzi. If I'm a Plum fan and if I'm a Plum coaching staff, he's showing a lot of moxie in there, taking some hits, still looking strong, still confident. The only thing at this point is just a little late with these throws, getting it out a little late, but as he progresses through, he's just going to get quicker and quicker. A lot of good things ahead for Franzi.
Isaiah Brown deflected that pass, making it incomplete. Now Franzi gives it, or fakes it to Morris. He was hit hard on the play by Cherokee Schreckengoss. Or actually, not Cherokee Schreckengoss. Excuse me, that was Gagini. It'll be a third down and 10. As we saw Olsen make a tackle earlier on in that drive, and you rarely see him out on defense. I believe that was the first time I saw him on this drive. He's not out there now on defense. He's playing safety.
Well, they bring Olsen in on their prevent packages. I mean, he's a 6'5" presence back there, 205 pounds. He's got good instincts. He knows what the quarterback's looking for, so he can find – he kind of can anticipate where the ball is going to be. So I don't think it's a terrible move. It's a little risky with your all-state quarterback playing defense, but from a strategic standpoint, having that 6'5" guy back there is definitely to your advantage, especially when they're late in the games when they're trying to throw over the top of the defense. Having to throw over top of a 6'5" guy 30 yards downfield is a tricky proposition.
Franzi scrambles, but that'll be 4th and 4, gain of 6. Crispin made the tackle, so with 5:48 left, you have to go for this if you're Plum.
Oh yeah, this is a have to go for. I mean, this is the game really. 5:48 left, 4th and 4. You don't convert here. Unless some miracle happens, it's pretty much game over. This is a huge down.
Franzi now looks to pass, goes down the middle, as complete, and that'll be enough for Plum. First down.
And that time, Franzi, he knew what he had right at the line of scrimmage. That was a stop, all stop, just looking for a first down yardage. He saw the whole pre-snap read, did a good job of not giving it away early, caught the ball, kept the safety in the middle of the field, kept the linebackers in the middle of the field with his eyes, and then turned and popped.
Brooks made the catch there. Franzi throws deep at the 5-yard line, incomplete. Now will draw.
That was a good call.
A flag. Pitts was the intended receiver. Looked like trying to see who's in on coverage.
That was Hepler.
Yep, that was Hepler.
That's unfortunate. Unfortunate call, but a good call. Hepler was beat to the inside. Tried to come up over the top at the last second. That's a good gamble, though, because you could make a play on the ball. If it's an interference, it's only a 15-yard penalty versus if you give up the pass as a touchdown. Not a terrible penalty there. That's a tough island to be out on, trying to cover a receiver coming on a post route with no help in the middle.
That ball's out the 12-yard line as Plum has entered the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser is there with State Farm. Ball at the 12, Franzi. Now he throws towards the end zone, and he has his man for the touchdown. That is Darren Nelson. with his second touchdown of the game. What a beautiful ball thrown by Franzi. Make it 35-27 with 5:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now,
and we keep talking about getting the ball out on time and how important that is. That time, Franzi knew he had the outside. He knew he didn't have to worry about any safeties. He had the matchup he wanted inside. He got the ball. He released it with a nice rainbow touch on time, allowed his receiver to make a play. Great play by Franzi. Big play. Huge play for Plum.
Bueno's UFP Parker extra point is good, as we've got a ball game, folks, as Armstrong leads Plum 35-28 with 5:18 remaining here in the fourth quarter, as Plum was down 35-14, but they've scored 14 unanswered points. Darren Nelson, that was a 12-yard reception, his second touchdown of the game. He had a 43-yard rushing touchdown in the third quarter. Those are his first two touchdown receptions of the season. So big possession for both teams coming up. 5:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Plum has 2 timeouts remaining. Armstrong has 1 timeout remaining. And keep in mind too, I mean, Plum was helped by a few penalties, but they started at the 5-yard line. So that was a 95-yard drive with a few penalties, a few pass interference calls, a horse collar tackle call on Armstrong really helped. I mean, Plum, they still had a great draw, but a few crucial penalties by Armstrong on that drive.
Yeah, that was a huge drive for Franzi and the Plum offense, not only for this game, but for the future of the program, for the rest of the season, into next year. What a confidence builder. Your young quarterback comes out there. He's been shaken up a couple times. He's been under pressure at times. He's had some poor throws, some late throws, but that drive, he came out. He showed urgency. He showed good calm, showed some moxie, definitely had some swagger in his step, led his team down the field, and that last throw was just a beautiful throw, right on time, nice rainbow in the corner of the end zone. You know, that was a great play, something to build on in the future. But you talk about the future, but there's 5:18 left, 2 timeouts. They've done a pretty good job of containing Armstrong in this fourth quarter and even late third quarter. I'll be interested to see what this kick is. They might just kick away. They do kind of kick away.
Yeah, great job fielded by Armstrong. Looked like it was Casey Riggle that was able to field and get the ball up to about the 35-yard line.
Not an easy play there. I think that was Klein on the catch. Not an easy play there for Klein. Over the shoulder catch, outfielder type of catch against the warning track. Did a good job of fielding it and making a nice play. Good job by Klein. Sometimes it's those little plays that you don't really notice that go as the biggest plays in the game. That easily could have been misplayed. That was a really nice job of securing the ball by the freshman.
Ball at the 35-yard line for Olsen and Armstrong. Now he'll take this QB run right up the middle, makes a few men miss. We do have a flag in the offensive backfield. It's brought down at the 40-yard line by Caden Thomas, but
what a killer penalty by Armstrong. It's going to stop the clock, which is important, huge at this time. It's going to stop the clock, but you know, what a great effort by Olsen of getting something out of what looked to be nothing there, getting a 4 or 5 yard gain. But now you're behind the chains again. If you're Armstrong, you're behind the chains. You're almost, well, you're not forced into a passing down, but at the same time, you know, if you're Plum and you can get a good stop here on a running play, force them to put the ball in the air, a couple incompletions, you might get the ball back with 2 timeouts and 3 minutes left. So huge penalty there called against Armstrong.
Be a first down and 20 at the 23-yard line for Armstrong with 4:54 in winding left here in regulation. As Olsen will take his time, play clock down to 6. Now he gets the snap, he fakes it, he pumps, throws deep down the Brown downfield. It's caught as he makes the catch at the Plum 45-yard line. As Olsen takes a shot on first down downfield to Isaiah Brown, and it pays off. What a play on first down by Armstrong.
That was a great call. Totally caught them by surprise. They were a full-on run stop. Didn't even have anybody covering Brown. Great retreating effort by Plum there to stop him from getting a touchdown, but what a call on first down by Frank Fabian and the staff, and good execution by Brown and Olson, and now you come right back, gouging them with the general up the middle. What a huge play by Armstrong.
Now it's Patton on the carry as that Brown reception took him to the 39-yard line. Now it's 33 for a gain of 6. The birthday boy, so happy birthday to him. Bring up a 2nd down and 4. Patton does have a rushing touchdown in this game. He's 2nd and 1 actually.
That play was huge. It totally flipped the field position game, and it allowed an extra minute and a half off the clock already. It's going to force some timeouts to be called here soon.
Olson with the QB draw gets first down and much more. Gets inside the 20-yard line as once again Armstrong has entered the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser State Farm is there. Ball at the 18-yard line. First down and 10. Now with 3:27 remaining in the fourth quarter.
And now if you're Armstrong, you just bleed this clock. You force the timeouts. It looks like the defense getting a little tired these last couple runs by Olson. The defenders aren't hitting him with as hard a contact as they were earlier in the game. He's dragging people with him a lot more. Defense definitely starting to wear down a little bit. They're going to have to figure out a way to get a stop here and give their offense one last chance.
As they snap the ball at 1 second left, Olson keeps it, but Plum is all over that play. Caden Thomas in on the tackle for a loss on the play. Will be back at about the 22-yard line for a loss of 4 as Plum calls its 2nd timeout of the half with 2:51 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Bring up a 2nd down and 14 at the 22-yard line for Armstrong.
Plum did a good job there. The defensive end did a good job there of looking like he was going to crash, kind of throwing the read of Olson, whose reads on the running game have been pretty much spot on all game, throwing him off a little bit because there was definitely a seam for the general. The call there would have been to give, but a great job of disguising his move by the defensive end, kind of fooling Olson a little bit, enticing him to go to the outside where there was plenty of help. That was one of the few times the Plum's been able to confuse Olson tonight in the running game.
It'll be 2nd down and 14 at the 22-yard line. You are watching WPIAL football in the High Top Sports Network. This broadcast is brought to you by Sprankle's Neighborhood Markets. We are with the own Ryan Sprankle. Adam Morganti on the call with you, Mason Flanagan on camera for us.
We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Exactly. 2:51 left here in the fourth quarter. Olson gives it to Patton. Patton lunges up the middle as he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that was a typical run by the general. Took 4 guys to bring him down. 2 of the guys end up shaking up. Hopefully they're okay, but the general, especially late in games, he is a guy that if you're a linebacker, you do not want to see him coming at you with a full head of steam. He can deliver a blow, and he's a tough back to handle, especially in the fourth quarter once he kind of gets warmed up.
Now let's hear from one of our sponsors real quick. That's Arms Care, located at 85 Glade Drive in Containing, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Arms Care can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Arms Care offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Arms Care at 724-545-3200 today. And Arms Care is the play of the game sponsor, as we will decide that play of the game for you after the game is over in our post-game show sponsored by SA&A, Shellhammer Outlet and Associates. But still plenty of time left to go in this one. 3rd down and 10 at the 18-yard line of Plum. 2:49 left. Armstrong does have the ball, as Plum can only stop the clock one more time as they have 1 timeout remaining. But 3rd and 10 for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, this is a huge down. I mean, 3rd and 10. Plum down to 1 timeout left. If you can get a first down, if you're Armstrong, you can get a first down here, or even, you know, it's definitely 4-down territory, obviously. So if you can get half of it here and half of it on 4th down, make them use that final timeout, it's game over at that point. You go into victory formation. So, I mean, these next 2 plays, I mean, the game has come down to these next 2 plays as far as Plum and Armstrong are concerned, as far as Armstrong being able to finish off this game without having to play defense again.
Patton has 198 rushing yards. Olsen has 160 rushing yards, go along with 137 passing yards. So Kane Olsen being a dual threat quarterback tonight. 3rd and 10 for the Riverhawks. Olsen now. QB draw, but that is read beautifully by the Plum defense. Darren Nelson in on the backfield for Plum. It'll be 4th down. Will be marked at about the 24-yard line.
And you know, the defensive coordinator there saw something. He had that dialed up. It was like they knew it was coming that time, and they just ate it up. So here we go, 4th and 15.
4th and 15 at the 24-yard line. Olsen stays out there for Armstrong. 2:14 remaining in the 4th quarter. Just wait, letting the play clock wind.
Again, Plum, they're just going to go man-to-man to the end here. A little confusion on who's covering who out of the gates.
As head coach Frank Fabian calls a timeout, as it's actually 4th and 15, not 4th and 16, with 2:01 remaining in the 4th quarter. Armstrong has no timeouts remaining in this game. 4th and 15, really in Olsen, he's had great success running that QB draw all night, but when it mattered most, Darren Nelson greeted him right in the backfield for Plum to force this 4th and long.
Well, they had seen that. Plum had seen that story too many times in this game. I think they pretty much sold out on the fact that there wasn't going to be any kind of an outside running play. They played tight man on the outside and inside receivers, and just pretty much brought everybody else and gunned right towards, everybody's line was right towards Olsen. They were not going to let him get started that time. It was a great call, and I like this call by Frank Fabian, Coach Fabian, calling timeout here. Why not? You know, give yourself some time to analyze what's worked, what hasn't worked. You got a chance to look at what they wanted to do against you before the snap, so now you kind of take a minute, you make sure you get the right play call, possibly even call 2 plays in the huddle, and either Olsen can kill or go with the initial play, give him 2 options coming off the timeout based on what the defense is showing, and try to get a good attempt and end this game with this play.
This would be a 41-yard field goal if they were going to try to time it, but Olsen and Armstrong will be back out on offense on this 4th and 15 at the 24-yard line. Olsen looks to throw. As he steps up, he has time. As he will keep it, gets to the 20s, and we nowhere near that first down marker. So Plum's defense comes up strong as Darren Nelson makes a tackle once again along with Dominic Byer, as Nelson had that big tackle on 3rd down. So with 1:52 left and 1 timeout remaining in this game, Plum has an opportunity to tie this ball game.
And, you know, if you're Olsen there was absolutely nothing downfield. Plum did a great job of covering up all the receivers. There was help over the top on both sides of the field. He extended the play as long as he could, but there really wasn't anything there. And good job not forcing something there and giving up possibly a big play by Olsen. You know, let your defense do its job. Give them the ball in the 19 in their own territory, and let your defense earn its keep.
Plum needs to go 80 yards to tie this game. They went 95 yards to make it 1-possession game. But Franzi is hit in the backfield and sacked. Great play there. Caleb Retzer in on the sack for Armstrong.
And that time they were able to get pressure with a 3-man rush. Unbelievable job by the defensive line of getting in there and getting pressure on the quarterback.
Pass complete by Franzi. Big gain, first out of much more by Aaron Brooks. He gets into Armstrong territory. be first down and 10, but what a play.
What a job of Franzi of finding the lane, stepping up in the pocket, delivering a strike. We've mentioned it all game. The seam has been there all game. The hole in that cover 2 look has been there. Cover 2, cover 4 look in the middle of the field all game long. That's where the hole is. That time he was able to find a way to step up in the pocket, find a throwing lane, and deliver a strike down the middle of the field. Excellent job by Franzi of continuing to put pressure on this Armstrong defense.
As Franzi spikes the ball to make it second down and 10 with 1:18 to go in the 4th quarter. Plum has 1 timeout left here at the Armstrong 47-yard line. Franzi has time to throw. Now he rolls out. He goes towards the sideline. Incomplete, broken up on the play. Intended receiver.
That was a great play by Valasek there, coming up and making the last-minute pass deflection. Again, probably just slightly late in getting the ball out, allowing Valasek to come up and making a play, but great job of coming up. That's the way this prevent is designed. You know, if your corners sit, make sure they don't get beat deep, and come up and make a play on the ball when the ball's in the air.
Lamia, the intended receiver on the play. 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. Franzi goes towards a sideline that is low, and that is complete. It'll bring up 4th down.
And that is a coaching nightmare. Your quarterback, he didn't step into the throw, didn't commit to the throw, comes up short. You're better off almost with an incompletion there. Now the clock's running. You only got 2 yards.
Actually, they call it 4th and 7. Brooks made that catch. Here's the game right here. Franzi rolls out and throws, and that is incomplete.
Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it. Wow.
Armstrong stops them on 4th down.
Wow.
With 43 seconds remaining.
It looks like there's a little confusion maybe. Plum saying that they didn't like the call. The coaches are arguing that it was a catch. But they're giving the ball to Armstrong. They're calling it an incompletion. Plum's coaching staff is not happy with that call. It was hard to see from here whether or not he trapped it against the ground or caught it clean. Looked like he dropped it. You know, the Plum coaching staff had a pretty good view of it, and they looked very visibly upset about the call.
Yeah, look, Jack Valasak was in on coverage. But yeah, they're going to give this ball to Armstrong after Julius Barnes and Retzer made a sack on the play, on the first play of this drive for Armstrong, as Franzi on the next was able to get a big gain to Aaron Brooks at the 47-yard line, but the Armstrong defense stands tall. 43 seconds left. Plum has 1 timeout remaining.
And again, good job by Valasek of making sure he doesn't get beat deep, making sure he maintains discipline into his area, but then when the ball's in the air, coming up and making it uncomfortable for the receiver to make a play. That's exactly what you want from your corner in that spot. That's a good job by Valasek on the last 2 plays.
Armstrong in the best formation in football, that is victory formations. They will have to run 1 play, 32 seconds left on the game clock and 27 seconds left, or on the play clock. As they'll run it out as Armstrong. Not official yet, but Armstrong with a win clinches their 4th playoff appearance in school history. So Armstrong improves to 6-3 overall, 4-2 in section. Plum drops to 4-2, or 2-4 in conference play, and 2-7 overall. So that's a final. Armstrong defeats Plum 35-28. As we still have more coverage for you, as the Shellhammer Atwood & Associates post-game show is coming up next. Don't go anywhere here, as you are watching WPIAL football on the High Top Sports Network.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at Containing Store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Welcome back to Armstrong High School for the Shellhammer Outwood and Associates post-game show. Armstrong defeats Plum 35-28 to clinch a playoff spot for the 4th time in school history. I'm Adam Morganti, Ryan Sprankle joining me, Mason Flanagan on camera. So now we have some awards, if you can call that, to give out. First, the Gross Embroidery Player of the Game. So Ryan, who is your Gross Embroidery Player of the Game?
I think we got to give it to the general. Alex Patton, 198 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. He was consistent the whole game. A lot of big gash plays up the middle. Just gave them that level of consistency. Olsen played a great game as well. Maybe he didn't have the passing stats that he's normally used to, but was a good general in and of himself, keeping the ship going, taking what the defense gave him, being patient. Good job by him. Good job by the whole offense. But definitely the general gets this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And pretty much all night long, Armstrong had that option game going with Patton and Olsen. So now we have the player of the game. Now let's go to the play of the game sponsored by Arms Care. So Ryan, who is your Arms Care play? What's your Arms Care play of the game?
I think the Arms Care play of the game has to be that key conversion, that great call on 1st down after the penalty, big play to Brown down the sideline, 37 yards from Olsen. Defense was not expecting a pass play. It was a great call by the coaching staff. Good execution by Olsen and Brown, and it flipped the field position, and we saw Plum ran out of real estate, ran out of time to get down the field there. They ended up having to start, I believe, at their own 10, their own 19, versus if that play isn't made, possibly they start with a ball inside Armstrong field territory with probably 4 minutes left if that play's not made. So the fact that they were able to convert there and flip the field position around against Plum really helped go a long way towards stopping them on that final possession.
Yeah, so Alex Patton is your Gross Embroidery Player of the Game. The birthday boy in the play of the game is that big 1st down completion from Olsen to Brown. That presented by Arms Care. And yeah, that didn't cause a score by Armstrong, but if anything, it killed a few minutes off the clock, and Plum, they had about 1:50 left, but the Armstrong defense came up huge. So Armstrong, they clinched a playoff spot, so now their goal is to host a playoff game as they can clinch that, as they will travel to Indiana next week. That game will start at 7 o'clock. As for Plum, they will host Greensburg-Salem, one of those teams Armstrong is competing with for a home playoff game, as Plum will be playing for their playoff lives next week. So,
and don't forget, for all the viewers out there, Richard G. Snyder YMCA in Katanning, there's going to be a watch party hosted by High Top Sports Network on the big screen right there in the parking lot of the YMCA. A watch party for that game, that huge game for Armstrong next week, starting at 7 o'clock. And along with that, want to mention the Monster Walk that's going to be happening also starting at 6 o'clock at the Richard G. Snyder YMCA, inside the YMCA. All kinds of fun Halloween fun for the family, touring through the different rooms of the YMCA. And then there's also going to be hashtag Katanning Cares is hosting a trunk or treat, its second annual trunk or treat. Last year, over 1,500 people attended the trunk or treat. There's going to be tons of trunks, tons of candy. The hashtag Save on Meat bus will be there representing Sprankles. I will be there representing Sprankles. We're going to have tons of candy for the kids. It's going to be just a great community event, a three-pronged community event at the Richard G. Snyder YMCA next Friday, October 29th. Watch party to cheer on Armstrong from afar. Not sure yet if I'm getting the call. I don't know. I don't know if Joe's made the decision on whether I'm getting the call or not, but I'll definitely be there, and it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it. And make sure anybody out there listening, make sure that you're there in support of the whole community. It's going to be great for everybody in the family.
Yeah, it should be a fun time, and we want to apologize for some sound issues we had throughout the first quarter of this game. We want to thank Joe Rhodes, if you're still listening. Thank you very much, Joe, for coming in and fixing the sound for us, as it sounded way better in the second quarter, in the second half. So thank you for that. But that'll do it for us here, as this broadcast was brought to you by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, as Armstrong defeats Plum 35-20 to punch its ticket into the WPIAL playoffs for the fourth time in school history. I'm Adam Morganti, for Ryan Sprankle and our cameraman Mason Flanagan. Thanks for tuning in to the High Top Sports Network, and enjoy the weekend, everybody, and have a good night.